to the budget. Okay, tell them one video we got. More views than you'll get on Colorado and Company. We got more views on that video than the entire show. How much did it cost us to get? Because he's paid about $2,500.
The last one we did.
How much did we spend to get? How many?
6,008. Are we up?
Going on.
No, just.
I don't want to talk about
no,
that.
We got the one about Colorado Springs. How much? How many viewers? Total.
Almost 7.
Other real estate person,
Stephanie Thomas
from Colorado Springs. But Frank Duran, the real estate man, is really a great guy. Brent Iverson, Ideal Home Loans. We're talking about loans, we're talking about real estate, but we'll talk about anything you want. First and foremost, I want to ask this. Are there still people upside down in their home? Are there still people upside down or
not that we're seeing. I mean, we've seen enough appreciation. We're seeing people who bought a year and eliminate their mortgage insurance.
now, actually.
So what would you say maybe of the market? 5% of the market?
Yeah, it's a very small percentage, really. We don't see a whole lot of them right now in this market. In fact, I just put 5 homes under contract last night, and every one of them had a bidding war.
Every one of them? Already?
Everyone.
You put them on the market last night?
No, actually, they went on Thursday. Over the weekend, we had multiple offers within 24 hours, and then the decisions were made by Monday and Tuesday.
Now, Frank Duran once told me if you ask too much for a house, you're not going to get more. What will happen is you have to lower it, and it'll stay on the market a few more days.
And it looks bad.
And it looks bad, and it takes away the quality of the listing. So he said, ask a fair price, maybe even a little lower price, because you know why? If you ask a little lower price, you will almost definitely get multiple offers. As soon as you get multiple offers, you can now raise the price because there are multiple offers, and now one of them has to buy. You can often end up getting more money asking for less than pricing more.
That's exactly what he did to my house. You just explained it.
And I'm sorry, I might have given away a secret, because most real estate people, they try to get the listing by lying to the person and saying, well, we'll get this much for you, and they put it too high. And people want to hear the high price. And they say, no, don't list it for that low. We can't take that much. But if you list it for a low price, you're going to get multiple offers. And that is a trick. Another one Frank does. I shouldn't give away. I'm not telling his tricks. He has some visual triggers we can talk about. He knows what not to show in a house. Do you know there are things that if people see in a home could actually deter them psychologically from wanting to buy that house? Did you know that?
I didn't.
Little things. Little things that they can spot in the house. I'm not kidding.
There
I'm
would
not
be
kidding.
things my wife would see that would make her not want to buy a house for sure.
Just little things that are there, property of the owner.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, well, how could that happen? It's a psychological thing. Do you know there are things that you can do to make people want to buy it more than, okay, so we're talking about visual stuff. Let's talk about other stuff. There is also a way to give the buyer a chance to offer on your house and then move within a certain price range within that to get two buyers, not even fighting against each other, but giving it's a technique Frank uses in negotiating. I'm being cryptic on purpose. I don't want to give away all the secrets. Anyway, what I'm saying is that just listing a home, sure, you'll sell it, but did you get the most money for it? Huh? Did just because someone listed your home and sold it right away? That's a function of the market, is a function of smart marketing. What about selling a home or when you go out to buy a home? How do you let your offer stand out? How do you do it? There are certain ways you can write it. Do you know that there's nothing worse than an offer that can't close? So you have to know how to evaluate offers. There are some people that make a high offer and then they hope they can close. Others make a lower offer, but they can close immediately. So evaluating an offer is important. Listen, these are all of the things we're talking about today. If you call up and ask, we'll answer. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So I have my guest today that I'll introduce in a second here, and we'll talk about whatever is near and dear to your heart and pocketbook, not just real estate, not just mortgages, but anything. So as I said, Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans, Frank Duran, the realestateman.com, and then we have Stephanie Thomas from Colorado Springs. Stephanie is a real estate broker. Stephanie, who are you affiliated with? Frank is with RE/MAX. Who are you with?
Cherry Creek Properties.
And who is that? Who is that related to, though? Is there is it affiliated with any national brand?
No, Cherry Creek is a Colorado local brokerage. We've got 21 offices across the state.
Well, that's pretty darn big. Okay. Yeah. So Cherry Creek, you have an office in Colorado Springs?
We do.
Wow. Okay, so how is the Springs market?
What I'm seeing in the Springs is really a lot of overflow from Denver, so things are starting to move fast.
So are people like saying, if I can't live in Denver, I'll move to the Springs?
I've experienced a lot of my personal buyers that have been willing to do commutes.
Really? I never thought of that.
Long trip.
But the new people coming in, what was it? 9,000 a month or a week, was it? Was it a week or a month that I hear? If you don't know, it's fine.
Plus, we don't have much inventory here, right, Frank?
I heard it's about 80,000 a year people coming in.
Okay, so 80,000 a year, and we can do that by the week, but 80,000 a year coming in, I can see where some of them would come in and say, you know what, let's just move a little south or a little north.
How much do you think they save moving to the Springs, Stephanie?
30%, right? What do you think?
I recently put a buyer in a property on 5 acres, about a 1,300 square foot house that we closed on for $240. And in Denver, that's just not even an option.
303-713-8255. So we're talking about a lot of stuff here. Mark wants to talk about this. This is going to be a popular topic. Mark's topic is popular right now because the valuations went out. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, hi, good morning. I've got a statement here, property tax statement. I don't have it in front of me, but 110,002 jumped up to 270.
Yep.
279, I believe.
Yep. You're going to get it. You know why? Because of the market.
Who's going to get it? That's the property tax value? They're going to get that? How can I contest that?
No. What I'm saying is, who's going to get the money?
I want to contest that value. I think it's a bit high.
Oh, I thought you said who's going to get the extra money or whatever. Okay, here's okay, you can. And most of the time, if you do a first round protest and simply say I protest, most of the time they'll come back and adjust it just for grins. It's almost like a car deal. Now, if it doesn't happen on the second round, you can do it. You don't even have to show evidence until, I believe, the third round. But Mark, just protest it. And you don't even have to have a reason first time around.
And you can do it on most of the county's websites, that first round.
Now, here's the deal. The way you do protest it the right way is look at the appraisal data record and make sure it's accurate. Now, sometimes you'll find it's inaccurate to your favor. Then you keep your mouth shut. If it's inaccurate to their favor, if they have it marked as too big or too many rooms or too big or something different than what it was reality, that's an easy way to protest. Another way is comparables. Another way is cost of construction. If new houses are going up around you of the same value plus a little markup, you can protest in 3 ways. Now, we used to have on the referral list a PDF people could download. I don't think it's still there. It's called Real Estate for Pennies. It was about protesting and buying tax certificates and protesting tax valuations. If you Google Ed Tomlinson, he's a guy that wrote that book. He was a RE/MAX agent. He might still be doing it. But he wrote this book. He has it available free now. He used to sell it. But it's free on the internet. And it's a really knowledgeable book on protesting taxes. Really knowledgeable. And he gave it to us one time and said we could distribute it. And I'm not sure where I put it. It used to be on our website, but I'm not sure where I put it. So we may want to search our records, Mark, on our server to see if it's stuffed somewhere that we can find. 303-713-8255. Now, did you have a specific question, Mark?
Well, yeah, I was interested in contesting it. Now I need to know what was it called? An appraisal?
Data record, or they used to call it an appraisal card. But it's really not a card anymore. It's a record on the computer. You ask for a printout of your data record. And then you compare it. Then you compare it to reality.
Okay, so and I find that through the county clerk and records department?
Yep.
Okay.
The assessor's office. The assessor's office.
County assessor.
Yes.
Central County assessor.
Yep.
Okay. Because they're way off mark on that one, I think.
And then you can also see who they're using for comparables as well to make sure it's accurate.
Yeah, well, I did that. I mean, this is the comparables when they send you those little segments, but those houses are off the main street, and I have a bus grass, and my value should be.
That's part of your argument. Now, listen, it's really a funny dichotomy here. People get upset about their increased value when it comes to the tax valuation, but they want the increased value when it comes to selling or when it comes to financing. I mean, it's really funny the way they want it both ways. But the increased values are going to catch up to us with property taxes. No 2 ways about it. Hang on, we'll get to all of your questions coming up.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic
This
Center.
report is brought to you by Broadmoor Hotel.
How are you, Frank?
So I got you on this here. You see here. It is and this is the one that stays up.
Oh, thank you.
For an hour. Southbound I-35, heading north town.
Stephanie, how are you doing?
All right, how are you?
Good. Who do you deal with lenders down there?
How you doing, man?
Good. So
I
I'll tell these
have a
guys.
lender that out of the
In the next 3 weeks, we will have
rent,
too. Automated approval launched on our website.
I
Bars can go online. They've got drop credit. They can get pricing. They can submit it for underwriting and get an actual approval. Loop around. Literally in 10 minutes, you can apply and get approved.
And I can go to your website?
Yeah.
Where do you find that?
We don't have it up yet. It'll be a link.
Do me a favor. When that's done, let me know.
I will for sure. So, and then we also launched Monday a new portal where
Ed Tomlinson.
Is it on our site?
No, I just found that.
last year was such a pain for me.
So I just wanted to show it to you.
Let's put the link
I
somewhere.
said-
On a solution where we can
Let's
build-
download it and link it for our
They
site.
can the link and they can just
So all
upload it
the-
immediately.
I'll do
and
that
route them
tomorrow.
automatically because they're running through the process or other setup.
I want it
With
real
everything.
estate for pennies. He said you could have it, so we should download it and put it on our site.
Well, let's fix it. It's over. It's an advertisement for him.
You're a trendsetter.
Well, it's just trying to figure out a way to make put technology to work for us to make it a lot easier.
Absolutely. You gotta stay ahead of the cut, man. That's for
And then the other thing we just rolled out is, we have that pre-approval process. We'll underwrite and approve them ahead of time.
Yeah.
What we're also doing is, if you're out right now.
What page did you claim?
We'll close your loan in 3 weeks, because we carried enough staff and staffed up
Yeah,
enough so
what
that
is
we can
Tom
get.
Martino's
Because the only thing we can
Troubleshooter
figure to help
Facebook page?
clients out of fires is
I
give them
claimed
speed.
it yesterday
That's the
because
only thing
that
they
bozo tagged the page and it's an unofficial
Other than that,
page, so
there's
I
not
think
much
we
else
should
we
have that,
can
right?
do to help their
So
office
I
stand up,
called
other than
and
underwriting
did the
approval ahead of time.
verification
We thought,
through
okay, we
Facebook
can
to
do that,
claim the
but
page and it
not
says you'll
everybody's in
receive
that
an
boat. A
email,
lot
but
of
I don't
people
know if
already
it'll go
out
to me
looking.
or you,
So
okay?
we said, look, what do we have to do to be able to close
So let
everybody
me
in
know
3
if you
weeks?
get that.
Figured out the
Good, actually,
staffing
we
metrics
got
and everything else, and so we're staffed and ready to go. We just rolled that last Monday.
We just sent you another buyer too, so
Awesome,
they're
thank you.
pre-approved.
Yeah, we appreciate it. That's, I mean, that, it's still the best way to go, as you know, is to get them totally pre-approved so that you guys can walk in and say, hey, we're ready to close.
Especially if they have a continue, they have a home
Yeah.
sale or something.
Right.
I mean, some of them don't have a choice, so.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You can't pre-approve though if somebody's waiting to sell a home, can you?
No, but you know what we're finding is that like I had some friends of ours, I was able to actually get them approved with carrying their other loan, and they had the cash on hand to bridge the gap. They ultimately wanted to sell their other properties, but I said, look, you guys have 20% on hand. Let's write it non-contingent. I'll bet you sell it before you close on the next one anyway, and it ended up working out for me. But there was a risk there for sure that we had to talk about. I said, look, if you don't, then you're going to go in and put 20% down as opposed to 40% down.
And now is the time before rates
Yeah,
go up again.
part of the risk, but it worked out great. So,
Your VA loan
and then rates, you know, rates dipping back into the high threes.
Hi, I'm Ross Kaminsky, and did you
It's
know
insane.
you can refinance any existing mortgage in your VA
Coming
loan?
back and forth.
And you may be able to take out cash to pay off.
Seem like the way over there.
Yes.
You can save hundreds of dollars a month in interest. And of course, your mortgage interest is also
I actually
tax
started
deductible.
my lending
Whether or
career
not
in Colorado
you
Springs
this benefit,
back
you
in
still have access
1996.
to the VA home loan
So,
program.
yeah.
No down payment,
You know,
no mortgage
we
insurance,
serve,
and
we don't have an officer anymore. We have a guy who works out of his house that has an executive suite, but we do serve that market. We used to have a full-blown office down there, and it just didn't make economic sense to keep the full office open.
That's
So many other clients want us to handle everything
or
online.
online at American Financing.
So we're starting to kind of,
That's 18233 regular for that
so
every year.
that's good market.
To be a simple trip to mom's for Mother's Day
Yeah,
isn't
true.
so easy anymore.
Well, there's no
Yeah,
substitute
so-
for watching mom light up when she sees you with
We're just, what we'll do is we'll pay up to get the appraisal expedited.
100 Flowers is on.
No, we'll charge them part of it and then you part of it. So, you know, depending on what's going on.
You know,
We have a
buddy,
really good,
I was up
we
negotiating
had a
the
great
other night with two of the
relationship.
bonds, working on contracts. I finished that late. Thursday night was.
Yeah,
all
we got a
homes
lot
on the market.
of
And then last night I finished late about this morning.
What is that?
We don't,
When she walks into the town, that's a step up. What is that called?
very rarely.
I guess it's step up, so it's 8.5 inches.
Something we're not doing about
So you can get that flower.
Yeah.
Doctor negotiation.
You know, but you know that, I just.
Yeah, 3 days worse, but we can
You have to continue, you know.
You know, that, because we underwrite in-house, because everything's here, we have the ability to do that, so.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Let's talk to you about your real estate and loan needs or anything else you want to talk about. Just give us a call. Anything you want to talk about. 303-713-8255. We also want to remind you on our Facebook, still there, the video on Springs Auto and Truck Service Center. These have to be some of the biggest idiots we have ever come up against in the auto repair business. And we caution you before you ever take your car there. It is so plain and simple, this case. They should help the guy with a new engine. And now, by the way, the engine had miles on it. They shouldn't buy him a new one, but they should chip in for the cost because they did ruin his engine, in our opinion, and in all the experts' opinion that we had look at it. There is not one expert who disagreed with us, not one. But they absolutely blame the customer. Can you believe this? Taking a truck to them or a car, having it run away, when I say run away, RPM run away, due to a fuel problem with the diesel that they caused, and then claim that it's his fault. And he's looking at a $16,000 repair bill.
He picked it up yesterday from Littleton, Mercedes of Littleton. It's perfect. We have the engine there. We've got everything documented. Him and I are sitting down with Ryan Wood tomorrow. We're getting all the paperwork done. We're going to file it Friday, and I'm going to go out and serve them very shortly.
Yeah.
In fact, that could be more interesting than anybody out there thinks when I go out there and serve them. I got to mention something else about these guys. I have not seen someone dig in like this for a long time.
Well, unreasonably.
Unreasonably. It's absolutely insane. I have never seen anybody deflect like they do. It has now been your problem, my problem, the customer's problem. It is everybody's problem but theirs.
All I'm saying is if you go there, now I'm not saying if you go there you're automatically going to have a ruined engine or a bad repair. I'm just saying that if you do have a problem, they will not stand behind it.
I don't know how Napa allows them to fly that flag.
Well,
we're in contact with them.
We should be in touch with them because how can they?
Well, I tell you,
maybe Napa, maybe all Napa cares about is selling parts.
No, I got to tell you, I had a relationship with Napa for a long time. And Napa's a good company. It's a genuine parts company, and I bet they don't know what's going on. We're in touch with media relations. We're working on that as well. Hey, Bentley Baths is going to be up in a second. Well, actually, it is
the video.
Yes.
Okay. Is it on Facebook right now?
It is on Facebook right now.
You got to see Bentley Baths video to see this joke. This is a joke. Okay? That's all we can call it, is a joke. When you see the video, we would love your comment on it. We've been through this problem before. I won't belabor it right now.
Well, the first comment we got on it, this guy Keith goes, the tub has a door for access. It does look like she can fit in it, which is like my brain is turning to bush looking at it.
Well, she absolutely can't fit in it. I mean, what does he
physically, I don't know.
Well,
I was there. She can't step into it. And even
if she can, she can't fit on the seat.
She can't sit. If you can't see that in the video, I mean, I don't know what to tell them.
You know, you get all kinds. Let them comment. Who cares? But if you look at it, and here's the deal. They work through Medicaid many times and get Medicaid to foot the bill. So Bentley's getting rich on Medicaid, and then he simply says, we can't do anything about it. This is his company's stance. We can't correct the problem without Medicaid's permission. That's preposterous. Because if Medicaid pays the bill for a tub and she can't use it, they're saying they can't go in and replace the tub with something else without Medicaid's approval. That's not true at all. It's absolutely not true. The only thing they would need approval for is if they wanted to sell her another tub. If you want to make a job better, Medicaid's not going to say, don't make that better, don't make that. I mean, you know, all Medicaid does is pay for it. We're going through the process right now to see what it takes to be Medicaid approved, and it doesn't take much, okay? So these people are using tax dollars for their private sales, and these people, they get a physical therapist to recommend a walk-in tub. That's not difficult. If you tell a physical therapist or whatever they call an occupational therapist that you can't walk into a tub, that's easy. If you're in your 70s or 60s, you can't walk into a tub, they'll recommend a walk-in tub. Now, they don't recommend a manufacturer. They don't recommend a particular model. They don't recommend a vendor. No, they do not. They better not. They're not supposed to. But Bentley's person says this was a state job. We did exactly what the state told us. No, you didn't. The state doesn't give you specifications. You're a liar. I'm telling you straight up, you're a liar. Medicaid does not come out and tell you exactly how to install the tub and what kind of tub to install. They absolutely don't do it. What you told us was a lie, that you can't do it, that you were instructed by the state and you can only do it the way the state tells you. You're making it sound like the state recommended that particular tub for that particular woman, and that is not true. It is just not true. And I'm so tired of the misinformation that Bentley Baths puts out. First of all, he slams the competition for going out after profits. First of all, the entire industry sucks because they charge exorbitant amounts for these tubs, exorbitant amounts compared to what they pay for them. Now, I'm not saying they shouldn't be able to make a profit, but it is a ridiculous, ridiculous price for people who are mostly in need. And I'm telling you, we're going to change the industry. Because it's sick and tired. They hate talking about what it costs. They hate it. They hate it. Hate it. Because what they want to tell you is how much a month it's going to cost, or how much a copay it is, or how much Medicaid pays. But they don't want to talk about the real cost.
No, they don't at all. And all I heard from this guy when we had him on the phone with the lady in the video is, our hands are tied, our hands are tied, we can't do anything.
Oh, yeah, the state has authorized this. They have to tell us what to do. So Bentley Baths is saying once they install a tub, they won't do anything for you unless the state instructs them to. Is that the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard? If you had a warranty issue, the state has to call them and say, do something. Try to get the state, try to get Medicaid. Call Medicaid right now and say, if I have a problem with a contractor, do you get involved? Ask him that. Nobody gets involved. This therapist, this occupational therapist, you want to know something, has never seen this woman. Think about it. Never saw her. Recommended a walk-in tub. Never saw her. Never saw the bathroom. They didn't specify any tub for her. I'll tell you what happened is Bentley Baths put it through for approval, and what happened was they got approved. They put it in. They put a tub in she cannot use, and now say we can't do anything about it. And he has the gall to go on the air when he is promoting his company. I know. He was on Fox when I was on there. He bought a segment when I had a show. I did a segment with him. I never knew what the industry was about. I actually interviewed him, and he was on my show, but never, ever, ever did I realize how much they were ripping off seniors. And as soon as I found out, I refused to do further segments for this man or for any walk-in tub segment. As soon as I found out how much they were charging, I was baffled. I couldn't believe it. The same thing happened with LASIK surgery. When I found out how much some places were charging for LASIK compared to what others were charging, and it was the exact same thing, I refused to do it. You can see why I wasn't so popular at Fox when it came to morals, because I refused to do certain segments on my show. But here's the deal. The point is, the walk-in tub industry, in my opinion, is a giant ripoff of seniors. A giant ripoff. Giant. And the other thing is, you don't need a state to tell you to take care of a problem. He brags on TV, Colorado and Company, Colorado's Best, all these TV shows, that, what does he say, Mark? That he carefully selects the proper appliance for the individual.
And he was actually in her home.
Now, if you carefully select the proper appliance for the individual, wouldn't you select something they could fit in? Wouldn't you do that?
Well, not only that you could walk in. Even if she lost weight, it's still 8 inches and she's got a bum foot. There's numerous things going on here. She's not a walker.
If somebody was in a wheelchair, they wouldn't offer that one. They have a different one that opens. She's in a walker. Right. Here's the deal. The whole point is, let's forget the overcharging, okay, because Medicaid pay for it. Let's forget about it. They still sold her something she can't use.
She's had it 13 weeks. And if you watch the video, she hasn't taken a bath ever in there.
I want to talk to Jim really quickly. Go ahead, Jim. What is the follow-up on Home Depot?
Okay. I had contracted to put siding on my house. They ignored me for 8 months. Finally set a specific date, and then was a no-show on that. And that's at the point where I called.
That's where they you put like $4,500 up front, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
And we couldn't believe it, and it was almost a year. So what happened?
Well, you said that you'd help me out. Suzanne made a phone call, and I have to almost think it was like she threw a wildcat into their board of directors, because the next afternoon I got calls from division managers. They told me they were going to get right on it. They told me somebody should be able to get here Wednesday.
So what's the latest right now?
They're almost finished. They're working.
Can you believe that?
On
We
it.
got it done. We got it done.
Got it done, and you guys were great. I was being ignored for almost a year, and it took about 8 hours for them to get with me after you called.
Jim, I'm so happy. That's what you call getting it done. Thank you very much, Jim. We love doing what we do. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We'll keep doing it. All you have to do is call. We have lines open, 303-713-8255. So what we do is we take it and we make a difference. By the way, Genesis Total Exteriors can make a difference in your life if you need any kind of home improvement. They're the honest guys, the ones that you can depend on. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. For all of your home improvement needs this spring, don't go to any of these rip-offs. You can depend on Genesis. 303-679-8509.
Are you recording on the hard drive?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what I want in an auto repair? I want to try to get something out of it.
What did George say?
Well, George called me.
I haven't called George.
I'm not putting him on until he...
Well, he said he won't even talk about it. So actually, it would sound pretty good. He comes on and goes, I can't talk about it.
Yeah, she'll give her permission. Then what does he say?
I'm telling you what he's going to say is I still can't talk about it.
Then call us now. Today's 15-year fixed-rate mortgage is at 3% with an APR of 3.328%. You heard me right, 3% with an APR of 3.328%. Call American Residential Lending toll-free at 844-922-1100, 844-922-1100, or on the web at bestloanscolorado.com. That's bestloanscolorado.com. For low rates, call 844.
So that number wasn't still probably.
Loan assumptions, $300,000 loan amount rate and term refinance on the owner-occupied single-family.
I will for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. No, for sure.
Interest payment $2,072, total of all payments $375,165. Not all applicants will qualify. Rate subject to change without notice. Programs not available in all areas. American Residential Lending provides an equal housing lender. NMLS number 1359704. MLO NMLS number 17581.
I love the way Stem Cell Institute does business. Stem Cell Institute doesn't want you to call for an appointment to get stem cell therapy unless you're fully informed. That's why they're doing pre-educational seminars with no obligation and no pressure. They have them at noon and 5:30, and you can call to find out more at
Tom, on that disputing your tax, on the very first letter, it says you got to put in your prompts.
Stem cell therapy.
Yeah, because I just got it. Oh, I thought you said down the road.
You don't have to have any evidence. Okay. Surgery altogether. You can do whatever you want. In all cases, it gets you relief. So if you're interested,
the government bureaucracy. Okay, you don't like it, fine, we'll change it.
Usually the first time around, they'll change it right away.
Gotcha. Maybe I should do that.
Again, the number is 705. You have nothing to lose.
Absolutely.
They want you to be fully informed. Stem cell therapy at its best. 720-580.
In Gilpin County.
What did you say about Hillary Clinton? Marks in the office.
There was some email floating around that's crazy that it's actually from, who was the...
Yeah, that's what I was going through looking at,
well, Tony's the one that was brought up to you today.
The first Attorney General.
The attorney, what's her name?
Lynch. But,
Lynch.
Yeah, but we know, I mean...
There was an email between Lynch and somebody saying as soon as she's elected, this whole thing will go away.
Oh,
It sounds like Bentley's going to come on the air next week, but he made it really clear. He's like, the state of Colorado Medicaid bonus, has directed me not to talk about Laura Loney specifically. He goes, really what I'd like to do is come in and talk to Tom off the
And
air.
also, listen, I want to switch him out.
That's his cell
I'd
phone
like
number.
to put in the sleep apnea if they're in.
Okay, sleep treatment solutions?
They're there.
Okay.
And then, Ideal, you already suggested.
That's 867-7000 or idealhomeloans.com.
Yep, all righty.
We need to get you the new tag. We went to that 1-800 tag.
What's that?
The new tag where
Yes,
for
okay,
terms and conditions.
Okay, now I need to get that.
Yeah, here, let me
send it to me.
Yeah.
You know, my email is blowing up. People have been asking me, what are you doing, Tom? I've noticed
Steph, are you guys getting multiple offers?
Oh, yeah.
Are you?
Especially 40s and 50s.
I actually had one up in Woodland Park here recently that within an hour and a half on the market, I had one that was willing to go $30,000 over half.
Will you pay the difference if it don't appraise?
Within reason.
Yeah.
She gave us a, we'll go like $10,000 over
Wow.
appraisal.
We just got one like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, with that. And then on that same day, I had several still more coming in. It's crazy.
Are they building a lot of apartment houses down there too, or is it just?
They currently are building some apartments. Rentals are a big thing up there. There's a Bible college up there, so the rental market is insane in that area. Yeah, it's really, really insane. And the prices have really kind of skyrocketed up there a little bit too. Yeah.
I'm telling you. Don't you think when all these apartments hit, do you think that's going to bring down the price of home, or is it just going to bring it down the price of apartments?
They won't flip them to condos until they can flip that defect law.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when you'll start to see some.
Is it a defect law or 8 years? Is it after 8 years? Is that what it is?
Yeah, they kind of loosened it up. Now the HOA can vote on it.
Oh, really?
But it still doesn't absolve the contractor or the builder of liability. So it's kind of.
As we talked after the election, we really felt like we were going to be on a trajectory for rates to go up. The economy's just not getting the traction that they were hoping with the Trump administration. You know, you're seeing some here and there, but you're having some misses with economic data, and that's starting to bring rates back down. So for anybody buying, it's great. You know, when you see a dip in rates, you now qualify for a little bit more home. It's a great opportunity for you on the buying side to maybe move up your timeline and take advantage.
We had a problem with Home Depot just a little while ago. You heard about guy made a down payment. One of their vendors was supposed to take it over. And Home Depot, listen, man, they're doing a lot of things for a lot of people. They're trying to be all things to all people when it comes to the home. And they're falling short. They really are. Just beware of that. Dave, what is your problem?
Hello, good morning.
What's happening?
I'm in the process of rebuilding a kitchen for a rental that I have, and I put together a list of cabinets that I need, and I went into Home Depot to buy those cabinets.
That is the worst place.
Cabinets.
Worst place in the world you can buy cabinets. The worst.
And anyway,
ouch.
Here's the problem: is that
other than you paid for them,
are special order.
Mm-hmm.
And Home Depot's policy is that you cannot order 2 special cabinets. You must order 5 minimum.
Well, then go somewhere else.
Right. Why would you, Dave, may I ask a question? Why would you buy cabinets at Home Depot? Because you want to pay more, or what? What's the reason? You like paying more?
Because they have the parts that I need, or they...
What do you mean parts?
They show what I need on their catalog. Online catalog.
What particular model of cabinet are we talking about?
They're the hickory.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are their stock cabinets. I was able to rebuild a kitchen by walking in and pulling stuff off the shelf 2 years ago in this particular set of cabinets.
How much does a kitchen cost of cabinets with them?
$1,900 is the whole list of parts that I need for this cabinet. Cabinets.
So. Oh, they're parts for cabinets. They're not cabinets.
No, they're cabinets.
Oh, okay. So $1,900.
Wall and you're done.
$1,900 will do this kitchen.
Yes.
Okay, but you can't order just 2 of the special order items.
That's correct. Their policy is that you must order 5 special order items.
Okay. I don't know how to change that. I really don't. I mean, this seems like if it's their policy, I mean, they're allowed to make policy like that. Why don't you just order 5 and wait for them?
Actually, what I'm going to do is order 5 and return 3.
That's what I meant. Just order all 5. Isn't that the solution?
Yeah, it's a terrible solution.
Well, not really. I mean, if that's their policy, if they say you can only order a minimum of 5 items or however many items, then order them. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. But if that's the way they
You've got a good point, though. You got a good point.
Are you?
Who would you recommend I buy cabinets from? That
I would like you just listen. This is not a big deal, but I would like, just for the heck of it, and I would whatever you find, literally comparing as close to apples as you can. I would like to publish your findings. Because you went to Home Depot, you sound like you know what you're doing, you sound like you know exactly what you need. I would love for you to compare two places on my referral list and get back to me on them. I would love it.
Okay, so I go to your referral list.
No, I'm
online?
going to give you specifically the people to call right now. Okay.
Okay, I got to get off the road and find a pencil.
Okay, I'll put you on hold. Okay, I'll put you on hold. Hold on.
Or can you give me a call? Have one of your people give me a call
I'll get his number off the air and text it to him.
We'll get your number and text you two people directly, their names and phone number. One would be Art of Granite, and one would be Buy and Build. Now, now seriously, I want you to take a serious look at these, because I want to know really what happened. So hold on, Dave. Suzanne, get his phone number so we can call him back with these two. What would you think, Mark? Art of Granite and Buy and Build for this particular case. I think that
for the cabinets,
he'll be shocked.
Yeah,
he'll be shocked. Now, I was surprised that he said he could get a kitchen full for $1,900. I'm not sure how many that actually includes, but we'll see. I would love. And Dave, please ask Dave to get back to us with his results, and give him Courtney Pierce directly, and tell Courtney what we're doing, and then give it to Art of Granite, Mitch Floria, and let's see what they can do for him. Dave has a question about percentage rates, I believe, on commissions. Is that right, Dave?
Yes, that's correct. We're getting ready to sell our house, and we've been doing some research on it, and it's kind of a point that nobody really wants to talk about, but it's always in a contract, and this is what you pay. And I guess, is that correct, or is that negotiable?
Well, everything in the world is negotiable. But let's put it this way: if you say to somebody, "Hey, 6 or 7% is what's in your contract, I'd like to pay 4%," then they have the right to say, well, we don't work for that, and here's why. I mean, in other words, you can negotiate anything you want. Then there are flat rate real estate people, and if you like that better, do that. But here's the point. It doesn't matter what they charge if they can't come through. And also, it doesn't matter what they charge if they can more than make up for what they charge. Well, let's talk about that right after this, okay? Let's do it. Now, I have Ideal Home Loans here. I also have another lender for reverse mortgages. Now, they're rare mortgages, and not for everyone. In fact, for a very small percentage of people who are 62 and older and have a lot of equity, and they want to do a reverse loan, if that's your case, Joan Sullivan is the only one I really trust, she and her team, to tell you the truth about them, because they're not good for everyone, but excellent tools for some. 303-771-3528, approvalreverse.com.
This report is brought to you by American.
Craig wrote an offer on one of my listings last night.
Did he?
Got second place.
Did he?
It was close, but we had such a bidding war, and the one that they ended up going with was just a little bit higher than everybody else.
It's crazy.
I know. Craig,
Craig, our credit specialist. He's
he's my go-to guy too, and I told him, I said, look, I know this, but with Ideal, it's going to be a strong loan.
Yeah.
It's going to be a strong loan.
The great thing about Craig is, with him having experience running a real estate company and then being a CPA, he's the one that I was telling him his family owns a bunch of properties.
Yeah, he's super sharp.
Yeah, he runs training for us too. So
I got him on speed dial, Brent.
Yeah,
I need stuff.
For sure.
Right there.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
If you can get him, he gets buried with stuff.
I know he does.
He will get back to you. It may take him a couple hours, but he'll get back to you.
He's always really good. So.
Yeah, so he works with all of our, we'll run an analytic on credit that can help get their credit score up. And he works with all of them, and then he also puts our purchase plans together. So we'll have borrowers come in when they're looking at buying and give them it's actually a booklet they walk out with that tells them, here's what you need to do in month 1, here's what you need to do in month 2. month 3, and it's an all-encompassing plan to just, that way we keep them on track so we can maximize how much they can qualify for. So, yeah, so it's, and then we're in the process, him and I are doing, we have a home buyer workshop we used to do 15, 16 years ago, and we're going to
I'm going back out to that woman's
bring
house
it from
today.
a 3-hour workshop down to like 40 minutes. Yeah, first time homeowner.
Yeah, I gotta hit another place, do some training, and then I'm gonna head out to Morel's.
You might want to do some
We had a lot of success with it back. We ran
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and had really good success with. We would send kids out to go get all the addresses out of the apartment complexes because we couldn't find them.
Another thing
We would
more
direct
look
mail
on
and
that,
trifold
to see if that is
apartment
pressure
complexes.
treated wood.
What do you
The
mean?
whole gist of it was,
outside?
you know your
I don't.
Okay.
I don't care if it's pressure treated or not. I know the whole job is C grade at best.
What are you talking about?
The ramp they did. I mean, the wood's crooked. Who did the ramp?
Yeah.
I don't know. And once again, it's Medicaid. It's like all undercover. Fucking no one knows anything.
It's one of their
you get
sister
normalized
companies or whatever,
that will be
it's
the
related to
greatest
Bentley Bass.
strategy to get clients because it's so
Really, they did that too?
That's what Laura said.
$2,300.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Oh, she said Bentley did that too? So he was a GC over the whole thing?
Everything is top secret.
No, there's not.
I gotta tell you, that ramp is like really crooked, man. There's no doubt about it. But it's like just some of the planks. I mean, I'm sure it passed inspection. At least I think it did. It's pretty damn shoddy, man.
Well, like that, I don't think, the wood
It's
warping
sea
was
work.
just done this fall.
The railing's a joke. The railing's a true joke. But it's an old house, man. It is a really old house. So the plumbing and everything, I don't even want to get into it because the house is so old. But the main thing is this poor woman can't use this tub, man.
If you go on their website, there's different models that
They
would
needed
work
a
way
wider
better.
one and
Yeah.
then just the bigger door.
Yeah, the bigger door is what she needed.
Are we getting any more comments now?
Oh, just I haven't pushed it. I haven't pushed yet on it. I will
So Frank, this is the back.
do that later on.
Right there. This is her. You think she could fit into that? Not only that, she can hardly walk. I mean, it takes 10 feet in a walker, 30 seconds to cross the room.
Should we, play the video on the end?
Yeah, I think we should.
I was very clear, right? Listen weekdays beginning at 6 a.m. to win $1,000 every hour on the hour and make your wallet great again.
So Brent, you think the Trump thing's taking traction right now?
We haven't seen, look, we fully expected rates to at least hold when they made that adjustment up to 4.25, and they slid back down to the high 3s. I just think I think what really hurt him is when he didn't get that healthcare reform deal passed. I think everybody started to say, okay, wait a minute.
He's a weakling.
Yeah.
He's a big mouth. And it doesn't work the same in a corporation as it does in government.
Hey, Suzanne, would Bentley come on? What did he say?
Well, he may come on next week. He said he could not specifically speak on Laurel's case,
He can if
but
if she gives
Laurel
permission.
says he can speak all day long.
Here's what's
he did
amazing
say
to me.
he could speak on the project, just not on Laurel, but he'd rather talk to Tom off the air.
Here's what I'm talking about, okay? All of these people that hide behind HIPAA, it's really funny. We get dentists, doctors, sometimes even attorneys that deal with Medicaid and Medicare, and we get contractors who do Medicaid jobs talking about HIPAA. It's a wonderful law because they can say, sorry, HIPAA. You know,
That's
and then
exactly what him and his manager said.
He and his manager say, sorry, HIPAA. Now, here's the deal. HIPAA means you protect the privacy of the patient. But when the patient says you can talk to us and gives permission, then HIPAA is no longer a factor. You can't hide behind it anymore. You see, when they say you can talk to Tom on the air and you can talk about every aspect of my case and we'll get that in writing, then it takes away your shield. for you to do your dirty deeds in the dark.
I'm going to see her again today at 4:30, and I'm going to bring a HIPAA release out there, and I'll get her to sign everything.
Right.
Then we'll fax it over to old George and go from there.
Right. 303-713-TALK, and we'll get the HIPAA release for the occupational therapist as well. And these people don't like when we shine a light on them. They don't like it.
I'm going to get video of the other stuff this time, too. She's got the ramp they did is no good.
Dave wants to talk about commissions for real estate people. Okay, what is the going rate, the conventional going rate right now for real estate people? Either one. What's the going rate?
Tom, there's no set fee, but typically you're going to see between 5 to 6%, somewhere in there.
Okay, but is it usually 6?
A lot of times I think you hear 6.
And then, now, when you list something for 6 and someone brings a customer, what do they get out of that?
2.8, usually.
Okay, so out of 6, 2.8 goes to the buying broker, right?
Correct.
And then what? What else is there to pay out of that?
So 3.2 would go to the list side, typically.
And then out of the 3.2, so you take away 2.8, and then then that leaves 4%, and then of the 4% that goes to the listing side, how does that split up? What does the broker get?
So 3.2 would go to the list side. That'd be
I'm sorry, 3.2.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And then that would depend company to company, Tom.
So wait.
It depends on their split arrangement they have.
6.8 minus 2.8.
No. It's 6% minus 2.8.
Oh, 6%. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. What am I saying?
Remainder is 3.2 for the list.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, so I'm sorry. 3.2. You're right. So 3.2. Then what goes to the actual selling, the listing agent?
It's really going to depend on their split with their broker and how much they put into marketing, and if they run a team also.
Well, what do you mean put into their marketing? What does that mean? They have to pay their marketing out of their commission?
No, what I mean is many brokers will determine what their fees are up front, so that's how they determine what kind of fee they charge, right? So if they know what their fees are going to be in terms of marketing, that's usually built into what their total commission will be.
In other words, the consumer doesn't pay for advertising.
Not up front, but it's built into the commission. I mean,
it's built in.
Yeah.
They don't pay extra.
That's right.
When you negotiate a commission, it's not pay the commission plus cost.
Yeah, usually not right.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's a good thing. So I just want people to know that it's not like they walk away with 6%. I mean, they have to split that with someone else usually, and then they have to split that with a broker, and then they have to, out of their share, pay for multi-list, and they have to pay for advertising, and they have to pay for everything. So, I mean, while I like to believe that that it should be cheaper, I'm not the one to say that. So, Dave, it is negotiable.
Okay. Yeah, and I guess the other question that I had, you were mentioning bidding wars. How does the next person who wants the house know what you bid?
Okay.
So that's a good question too. So here's the deal. Let's say you get offer number 1. Typically, that second person is not going to know what the first person bid is, so they're going to come in blind, sort of a blind bid, but they're going to assume it's probably going to be full price or better. That's what usually sparks the bidding war. By the time you're done, you're probably with 7, 12 to 15 offers.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. And you just roll the dice on your bid?
Well, I think if you have a strong real estate broker representing you, they're going to ask questions and try to determine where they can get the sweet spot.
Oh, okay. I got you. Well, that answers a lot of blank spots in my mind. So, guys, I really do appreciate it.
All right. So on a $400,000 house, 6% would be $24,000. Of that $24,000, how much goes to? Oh, it's 2.8 of the whole price. Okay, not 2.8 of that. I see.
And Tom, I'll give you a real life example. I just listed one the other day. I put $1,000 into marketing and cleaning the house before I even put it on the market. So there's a lot of upfront we do before we even get paid a dime.
But I understand, Frank, and I'm not saying people aren't worth what they make. I mean, I think a lot of these guys that list homes and do nothing, they just list, and let the sign sell it or the other people sell it. I mean, that's a little immoral in my opinion. So out of $24,000, the agent that does the selling or his side will get the 11.2, and then you guys get 12.8. So out of the 11.2, this agent has to then, well, he didn't do the marketing, the lister did. So out of the 12.8, the lister has to pay his broker or share with his broker, plus do all of the marketing out of that.
That's pretty right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we have a lot more to talk about. We are totally transparent here. If you have any questions on the lending industry or the real estate industry, or you just need advice, give us a call. We have a lot more.
update coming too.
And an update on Lennar Homes. When it's time to clean carpets, I know who I'll call.
What do you see as the
Typical
7 or 10,000
split for the
back?
agents with the managing director.
She was the one that they installed the sewer line wrong.
It's easy for me because I have a set of medicine.
Yeah.
So
They installed the sewer line wrong.
But
They had to move 300 boxes.
I remember.
They're cutting her check for everything.
I'll be like, oh, like if they're taking 50%, what's their justification for that?
50% of what?
Well,
Yeah.
the only time I ever saw that is when I was a
Yeah.
when you're starting out, they want to get half your because they're helping you more.
Right.
I think as they help you, oh, there's Suzanne, good to see you.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
As you get more experience, you keep more and more.
I guess there's a guy named
That's usually when you start out.
who's
So what's the guy-
commenting on
somebody
it
who's
like
been doing
that,
it
and you're
for
like, you made us out
10
there?
years.
Yeah,
What
He's
are
not-
they keeping
well, we
in
need
their
more
commission?
details, but he's got it online too to comment about it, because he doesn't think it's all the contractor's fault or something.
Perfect.
For me,
And he's going to meet me out there at 4:30.
And then remember the New Jersey
Yeah,
guy
that's
that
how we
called
are.
in,
Yeah.
the rear end, and,
You know, it's
all
small
state
and
rates,
pretty,
his rates
and then
3
we
times
pay
the
our
amount?
national fees.
Yeah.
Dad called for media relations,
Yeah.
they looked
No.
into it,
What
said there's
people
a
forget
mix-up
about
on his
Bill Brett,
account, and he's gone back to his
I'm
original
negotiating till
rates.
midnight. Yeah, we're working these
I've
deals out.
never
We forget
heard
about
of
the
insurance company
energy,
doing that.
what you put into
for
this.
sure.
Yeah,
And-
it was
and
going
not
on 3
everybody, not
times
everybody
the
puts in the
amount.
same passion.
So
you
trying
know?
to get him
I
on.
agree.
You know.
We need to
Yeah,
get,
that's right.
I already
Back to 11
got with Daphne, I need, is she here?
Daph?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
It's funny.
what?
Do you have her phone
I was on
number
the
again?
phone. This was 3
I
weeks
need
ago.
Laurel's
Friends of
number.
ours
Don't say it
bought a
out loud
place
'cause we're on.
over kind of near Jackassville, and
Hold on,
they
did
were
you
the ones
email
that
it
ended
to
up
me?
No, you
going
can take it off
non-contingent.
my paper
You
on
know,
my,
the buying agent is a fireman who
Is it
does
still
real
right
estate
there?
on the
yeah,
side.
yeah, I can go get
So
it.
I'm trying to walk him
Here,
through
I
it.
just described to
Why it's
Daphne,
gonna
she's
work.
downstairs where it is.
Yeah, it's right to the, you know,
I had no idea.
exactly right there.
Oh, no.
I like the phone here.
Oh,
When I sat down, my it's really low. I'm like way down here. I didn't even know how to adjust this one.
This is the same way. Our chair situation is not good. Look at that one. That one, if you lean back in, you're done. You go right over, fall over, man.
Hire manager.
I can't really advise you.
So you think all these apartments that come in on the house shouldn't come in on the house?
He is so stuck on this.
I am. I mean, there's thousands of thousands of apartments, but that's not gonna drop the price of single family
That's the
homes.
ultimate
It'll drop the.
They don't take it as a
Well,
job
I
like
don't-
you made
yeah, I don't think so.
3 deals a year. And then,
Sure. Well, and I had a call a couple days
That's our
ago
inventory,
from a
but
house
look,
client of mine where
that's
her
how much
husband's
inventory
like,
we had last
oh,
year.
get into real estate.
Right. Really? That was slow. That was even
start
considered
for the
low.
year,
Look at that.
and then
Mark,
just start
look
talking
at our
about
inventory.
what's
That's our
your
inventory. That's
salary,
including
and
talent.
do they pay all your benefits?
That's everything.
And
That's
no.
everything. That's Denver Metro.
Well,
Denver
when I'm
Metro.
starting to
There's no
explain
inventory.
things
Those are
or what
those are the buyers
to
buying.
expect,
Look,
she's like, well,
you have that many
yeah,
buyers
you
or that many
know,
listings.
like, yeah, I was like,
It's
wow,
way
that's
off.
great. I
It's
didn't
hard, dude.
know.
That's
Oh,
what we're paying this month. Look at that.
I worked
Look how it was.
open
That was
houses
last year.
every weekend for 2
See,
years.
so it's, the
And,
inventory is even lower
you
now.
know,
I thought they said a healthy market was maybe 20 or 22,000.
I'd say about 15,000 in a healthy market. I think you get up to about 20, 22 in the Denver Metro anyway. I think it starts getting the other way. You know.
Okay.
when do you think we see the bubble pop?
You know what?
Oh,
No, I'm telling you.
I'll tell you
when.
when.
It's unbelievable.
3 years.
You think?
3 years.
You think it's that long?
I think it's
I mean,
3
I look at what our house would sell for
Yeah.
over in Highlands Ranch Golf Club. There is not a chance in hell I would pay that for that house. Never.
Yeah, well, you better get out before.
So I told my
The
wife,
bubble does
we're
hit.
moving out and we're renting. She goes, where are we going? I'm like, there's a mobile
cares?
home park down the street. That's perfect.
that might be a hard sell.
I go, you don't
can
know
sell
that.
you can sell that one.
I have been trying to buy a park for a year and a half.
It's good. It's great.
I have been trying to buy one,
It's hard
and
to
they're just like impossible.
People that have them, we had a guy that called us, this was 7 or 8 years ago, for a loan, wanted to do a cash out on his house in Aspen, was pulling cash out to put a deposit down on a G5, a Gulfstream 5 that somebody backed out of. This guy owned mobile home parks and flea markets throughout Florida.
Tons of money. This guy made 43 mil a year.
Wow.
All on his taxes, so you know that that's not all.
That
right?
one, there's one in Castle Rock, like right off Wilsonburg, and I looked into that. They don't want to sell, but that thing's cash flowing upwards of 50,000 a month.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
They run it beautifully. It looks beautiful. It's a beautiful place.
No, it's. I just look at kind of, the only place we're seeing any softness, and you guys would know better than I would. We're seeing some at kind of that $1.2 million and up mark. You're starting to see that soften some and just sit, just because there's not that many people that can afford to buy it.
Shit, mine, according to Zillow, jumped up 150 grand in the last 8 months.
Yeah, yeah.
Or yeah, you're right. It has been a year.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. You got a good
You smoked him for me, man.
You know something? That's a good area.
We went. I'll tell you where he killed. He thought I was crazy. I said, "Tell him we'll put down earnest money, a shitload, and I won't even mess with him now, unless if it's a safety item. I'm buying it, and I'll close in 30 days."
Yeah. That's so volume.
That made him go.
No.
Yeah, if you can, that's the only, like, we look at it from our perspective, the only way we can give our clients an advantage is speed. That's it. Close fast.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
That's try cash, close 3 days.
Yeah.
No contingencies.
Yeah.
That works too.
That'll spark eyeballs.
I brought it down 300.
So yeah, and that's, we're finding we've got some of our clients that have the ability to do that, and then we go back in behind it and just refi it and give them their cash back. So
that actually, I was thinking exactly
Except
that
I got
at the
stung.
time.
I got stung because I can't get a loan right now. Well, I can now probably.
Because that was how
Or close.
You're right. You said wait till April.
Yeah, I think we're good now.
But what he just said was perfect. But what sucks is you missed the bottom. I hit the bottom.
It's pretty low. I was thinking of doing a 15.
I got two
15
6.5s.
years is still, it's still.
But it's kind of, but then why? I mean, because what am I going to do with the cash? I'm not going to make that.
Shit.
You can, but I can't.
I've got 4 ways for you to make that.
He's got an investment opportunity for you. Like to talk
But
about.
Brent, aren't you seeing most buyers are putting
Get
more
outta
money down?
here.
They're putting more money down than what we
Would
saw
I get a
7
lower
years
rate?
ago.
If I did a 50% loan to value 15 years, would I get a really low rate? Or is that not?
Yeah, no, it
50%
does.
doesn't
It
matter?
tears down on loan to value. So as you go from 80 to 75
But
to
what's the
65
best
to
he's
below
going to
60.
pull right now?
Yeah, what's the best? On a 15-year, 50% or 60%? Well, I wonder what the best is going to do.
That's what I got.
I might pull some.
You better not give him 263.
No, but if I could get some cash out.
I hit 265.
Well, what's the advantage really of getting cash out anymore? What is the advantage?
Maybe what you do is you just sign. Well, no, because line of credits suck, man, because they cost more.
Exactly.
And they're going to keep going up.
They kill you.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can. I'm feeling.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and make your life a little easier. My staff is on fire with solving problems. We heard earlier that Home Depot problem. Who was on that Home Depot problem? Which one?
Me.
You were on that, Suzanne?
Yeah.
Who's on this one with Tyler?
Pitbull Daff.
The lipstick Pitbull. Okay, what's happening, Tyler? What's going on?
Hey, another victory for the little guy.
What happened?
Another victory for the little guy.
Yeah, I want to hear about it, bro.
This was a duplicate plates, right?
Oh, this was terrible.
Yeah.
You called and you were being fined because your license plate was photographed going through a toll.
Right.
But it wasn't
no
your car.
longer mine. It
Now,
wasn't mine.
What did it turn out to be?
I don't know. You guys got behind the scenes, and I hooked me up with the right guy, sent him the bill, told him that I no longer had those plates, and he said the bill's been dismissed by Northwest Parkway. So, thanks. I was nervous to call in because it was like a $8 problem, but
Yeah, but it was a sign of things to come. And Tyler, we've handled problems like this that were in the hundreds with 470.
Thousands.
So thanks, Tyler. Thank you very much. Make sure you listen from time to time.
If I recall, though, this is weird. Daff said they actually had a duplicate plate out there.
Yeah.
And it happens occasionally.
Yep, 303-713-8255. Craig's got a beef with Safeway. What's happening, Craig?
Hey, Tom. Good morning.
Hey, man. What's happening?
Well, as probably people that shop at Safeway all realize, they have a Safeway
club card and certain items with your club card are at a reduced price.
Yeah, you put your phone number in at the end, or you show them your card.
Just like King's.
I have a King's one.
Well, with Safeway, they like to play the quantity game, where to get a realistic price on an item, you have to buy multiple quantities.
Okay.
And in this case, it's a Canada Dry seltzer. In lieu of drinking soda, I like to drink the flavored seltzers.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a tag on the shelf that says regularly $5.99, must buy 5.
Okay.
For $10. Limit 5. So people aren't, wiping the shelves out. I mean, it does limit the quantity somewhat. But they do ask that you buy 5 to get what is a $2 per 12-pack price.
Where is this going?
Yeah, where is it going?
Well, you take it up to the checkout,
Mm-hmm.
and they ring it up, and it comes up at $30-some for 5 12-packs. And I said,
but why?
I said, well, what happened to the club price?
Yeah.
She says, well, you must buy $25 worth of other groceries in order to get the club price.
Well, that's just part of their terms. I think it sucks too, but that sounds like their terms.
But is that with all club pricing?
I've never heard that, Tom.
I've never either. I bought things with King Soopers, and I get the club price buying just one.
Well, this was a new one to me because we bought those seltzers at other Safeways. This happened to be the Castle Rock store.
So what did they refuse to make an adjustment?
She refused to make an adjustment, and she wanted to play, the clerk wanted to play the, well, you're wrong and I'm right game. So I said, well, I tell you what, I'm going to go get the shelf tag while you're calling. She's going to call for a manager. She calls for a manager. I go grab the shelf tag. I bring it up to the checkout. And the tag says nothing of any other restrictions applying to that club price. And I basically get the same story from the manager. Well, this is our new policy that you have to spend $25
Wait a minute.
in additional
What do you mean?
groceries.
What do you mean their new policy? When did they post that new policy?
Well, he said it was posted in the aisles of the store, which I could not find.
Oh man, are they making a fuss like this over a few bucks? So what ended up happening?
Well, I had other items in the cart, not totaling $25, but I said, so you are going to turn down a sale on my today because you want to argue with me on your validity of your club price shelf tag. And he just gave me the blank look of a dairy cow.
So 5 would have been $10, but instead they were $29.
Well, it would have been $5.99 times 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I said, well, I tell you what. I said, normally I would restock these items myself, but because you're turning down a sale and want to argue, the point with me, I'm just going to roll this cart up to the front of the store and allow your clerks to restock these items. I refuse to do business with
And that was so you left it that way. This idiot let you walk out.
Yes.
Well, what do you do? What do you do?
Well, you Safeway doesn't really have a regional customer service.
Well, but here's what you do. Don't go there anymore. Well, it's so easy to go to King Soopers. By the way, in my opinion, King's is better. Why do you go to Safeway?
Well, for some reason, this item which was available at one time at Walmart, seems to be only available at Safeway.
What kind of seltzer is it?
Canada Dry. Raspberry seltzer. Well, they have lemon lime.
Okay.
I'm sure that's part of their terms, though. I don't see why.
No, Mark, he said they changed it and they posted it. Okay, it's not a big deal. It's not a major deal, but it's like...
I'm sure it's a lost leader to buy.
But it didn't say it on that sign. It didn't say... here's what it said. It said, buy 5 for $10, right? With club pricing, right?
Correct.
Okay, and it didn't say... with club pricing, some whatchamacallits apply, some restriction.
I'm sure when you get that club card, it says they can change at any time, though. You know this.
Well, of course I do.
It sucks, but once again, this one I'm like, come on.
All right, Keith saw our Facebook video about Bentley baths. What's your comment, Keith?
Hold on, let me read his comment first, his very first comment, which is interesting. In fact, I think I started reading it last time.
Well, he's on the air. He can just talk for himself.
Yeah, he can.
Okay, you
go
want
ahead,
to
Keith.
Hey, guys.
Go ahead, Keith. What's your comment?
Hey, so really, I never wanted to disagree that this is an unfortunate situation, but I feel that attacking the contractor or Bentley after they've installed this for this woman might be the wrong course of action. It seems like something to where you might want to ask for help, from outside sources or donation. It feels like the contractor, along with Bentley, has done their due diligence by having the tub approved by her, and I just don't really see how there's any what there can be done, unless it's removal. And
No. When you say
out of their
approved,
pocket.
when you say approved by her, she sees a model number written on a contract. I mean, nobody approved it. She didn't see it. It was in a box.
I don't necessarily know that's true. That could be. I didn't hear in the interview whether she was asked.
Well, she wasn't in any showroom where she could say, "Oh, I like this one or I like this one."
She never saw the tub until it showed up into her house in a box.
In a box.
Not even in a catalog.
No. Well, she could have seen it in a catalog, but you don't get the sense of it unless you see it up in person.
She's 74 years old, man.
Listen,
and she can't even walk.
Here's the point. What responsibility? But seriously, but if I was there selling this tub, or if you were there, be straight, Keith. Come on. I know you like to nitpick maybe things we are doing, but let's just really look at this. If you were in that home looking at her spread across and spreading over a recliner about 3 feet across, and you were looking at her, and then you saw her walk and she couldn't walk, would you give her a tub with an 18-inch opening and at the top, along with an 8-inch step up? Would you do it?
I mean, I from the picture and from her stature, I think that it looks maneuverable, honestly.
And I guess she's just lying. She must not want to take a bath.
What a crook she is to get that guy to install a tub, and now she just wants to make him redo it for nothing.
No,
and not take a bath for 13 weeks.
This is a 74-year-old woman, and this guy touts himself as a consumer advocate, and you're saying that it's her fault. It's just freaking amazing to me. He's the professional in this home selling her an appliance she can use. And she's supposed to be the one doing all of the measuring to make sure it's appropriate for her. She doesn't know a walk-in tub from Adam. She doesn't know anything about walk-in tubs. It's just absolutely ridiculous because this guy just did what she approved. You know what? He could have showed her anything. She would have approved it. You're relying on someone to give you what you need.
What if she approved nitrous oxide instead of oxygen?
Here's the problem. People do not understand the trust that the elderly put into these people that come into their home. So what are we supposed to say? Tough? You approved it? She approved it on paper. Okay? All the occupational therapist did was approved a walk-in tub, period. That could be anything. That takes many shapes and sizes. He brags about selling something appropriate. So, Keith, let me ask you something. He is heard on multiple commercials saying he takes great care in selecting the appropriate appliance for the individual. So let me ask you, just on that alone, do you think he selected the appropriate appliance for her? She can't even fit in the seat, even if she did. If we had a crane pick her up and lower her into the walk-in tub, she couldn't fit in the seat. What do you think about that, Keith? Whose fault?
It's not even a grab bar either.
I think that based on her approval, the occupationist approval, maybe the available options that he had for tubs for her condition and her range of motion, I think that he has done his due diligence.
Okay. Keith, you are a piece of work. What? I hope to God I never encounter you in business. Jesus. I just can't believe the excuses that he obviously knows the guy or something. Here's what's amazing to me. The occupational therapist never saw it, Keith. How about that? Did you know it, Keith? Did you know, Keith, that the occupational therapist didn't even see the tub?
I'm trying to be fair to both people.
Oh, really? The occupational therapist did not even see the tub. The occupational therapist did not even see the tub.
The really only argument is she can't use the tub.
He's trying to be fair. Yeah, right. He's trying to be fair. Okay, you know
fair
what?
And balanced.
Guess what? I don't try to be fair. What I try to be is objective in gathering information.
No.
Then and only then I take a stand, and I'm no longer fair. Guess why? Because when I take a stand, I stick by it unless I'm proven wrong. And right now, I objectively gathered information. An occupational therapist recommended a walk-in tub. She didn't see that. She didn't go to the showroom. She didn't do anything. She didn't measure. She didn't do anything appropriate for that woman. That woman depended on Bentley and his crew. That's what she did. And that guy was supposed to pick something appropriate for her. And when it comes to the elderly, you don't say to them, oh, well, tough, you approved it, now live with it. She can't even fit in it. But Keith is going to try to make a case that this clown sold her something appropriate. It's garbage, Keith, and I hope you never get into sales, never, because you know what? I have a feeling it'll be pretty crooked.
And the guy's a preacher. That's what his Facebook says.
Then that shouldn't surprise us.
You know,
If she ever got in there, she would never get out.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Never get out. There's not a grab bar, there's not a...
You should see her try to get up out of her recliner. I mean, it's like, it's watching.
We should have her on video try to get in and out of that thing.
She's not even going to want to, but I'll be happy to try.
No, honest to God, that would be so...
Well, I'm going out there at 4:30.
That would be so unbelievable.
And then bring us
We might have to call the fire department to get her out.
That would even be better.
Like I said, the step up,
And Bentley won't come on. I mean, she did call. We tried to get him on. He's not coming on. He says he'll talk to you off the air, but he can't talk about her.
And she said George was out there prior to anything being put in.
Bentley himself. She does not like Bentley. What does she say?
You know what? I think Keith is that minister that called in that was in very, very big trouble.
Oh. Why do you think he was in big trouble?
Because he called in once before.
That was about a year ago.
What did he do? I don't get it.
There was something really...
He had a webpage about somebody killing somebody.
That's right.
Yeah.
You think that was him? Was his name Keith?
Boy, you got a great better memory.
I think so.
That's a hell of a memory, if you're right.
Yeah.
The voice sounds familiar.
Yeah. And then we looked up his webpage.
Do you remember the preacher that called in like a year ago that basically had some weird website about, it was like...
They were gonna...
Yes, it was about John Benet Ramsey, that's right. Do you think that was him?
No, guys, that was Bob Inyard. That's Bob Inyard.
Oh.
Okay.
I remember that because I know who Bob Inyard is. He was the one that with the John Benet Ramsey. You are right. Yeah, Bob Inyard.
That guy was nutty buddy, man.
Keith.
Oh.
Keith, that rings a bell. I gotta figure it out.
That dude, remember, were you here on that call? That was nutty, man.
Yeah. He said people are trying to kill him, and it's like that, and they have...
And we bit for a minute, and then we start digging into him, and it's like, holy
Yeah, I think one of his old parishioners called in and said, hey, this guy is...
Yeah, I heard we got you a potential...
I got a call yesterday, yeah. Yep.
Frank, you two really do need to meet after the show a little bit.
Yeah, referrals and
Absolutely.
business and...
Yeah, I've known Stephanie for
That's a long time.
15 plus years, and Mike runs all of our, he does all of our web serve, he does everything for Troubleshooter, everything, her husband.
Oh, that's
Really
awesome.
great.
They live up in Woodland Park, though.
Woodland Park, huh?
Yeah, they moved. Why they moved to Woodland Park from
Because
Denver?
Michael fell in love with the program.
Yeah, he wanted to be
I
there.
walked through it, and I
Right.
was like, oh my gosh. And Michael's like, kid in the candy store.
Bob
I was
Inyard.
like, dang it.
Yeah,
That's what Frank said.
Frank knew. The winter is, the winter up
I knew
there.
that one.
You know, there was a
It's not much different than where we are.
They're up there. We get so much less snow where we are at our house than Woodland Park proper because we're just.
What'd you guys get Saturday?
I think we got around a foot, but it was gone within 24 hours.
Yeah, it didn't even snow.
Dude, we got 9 inches in our house. And
Right now, got 12 to 18. But it was melting so quick you couldn't see the accumulation.
It was thick for a while now.
Mark, maybe I'm the last to think of this, but, or to think of it, but a guy commented how Bentley Bath really stole from the taxpayers as well.
Yeah, I put that up there too.
I think
I'm going, listen, I've got a long one. I've got As soon as I get out of here, I got to be at A1, budget A1. Dan, do you want to go to Laurel's or you can't make it?
No, I go.
All right, so you'll go to me with budget then too. Sure. I might get some video while we're there.
Yeah,
Then we'll hit Laurel's. I'm not hitting Laurel. Well, long as we can get her okay, she's hard to get in touch
Party
with.
with the teenagers.
Sponge bath, you gotta
Yay.
do that.
I didn't
Plus the
do
poor
that.
woman's got, does she have Parkinson's?
Oh, she's got something.
I think she's, so listen, not only is she big, not only does she have a bum leg and barely moves, but she's when she dials a phone, she breaks into this.
Yeah.
But according to that preacher,
He sounded too much like somebody I know.
Could you get it yourself? Could you?
But he was right, it was Bob Enyard.
Perfectly healthy and young.
me
Make
get
your
into the
point.
tub?
Yeah, could you illustrate that and make your point that you're perfectly healthy? and-
Yeah, that's a question. That's a good thing.
I'm gonna have Dan give her a sponge bath while I'm
Hi, Tom Martino here. Jared has a comment on the Facebook. The guy that called in, Keith, who said that he thought that the company did nothing wrong, and the woman approved it, and the occupational therapist approved it. By the way, occupational therapists never even saw the situation, just recommended in general a walk-in tub, just like people recommend, you know, wheelchairs and things like that, and walkers. They're medical appliances. And so to get it in Facebook to pay for it, I mean, to get Medicaid to pay for it, you have to have it approved for the individual, like a prescription almost. Well, anyway, we're not disputing she needs it. We're not disputing any part of that. I'm not even disputing that this tub is defective. It's not. What we're saying is, I feel that he inappropriately sold it to her. Jared, what's your comment?
Tom, I gotta just say I love your show, but Keith, you're a moron. If that was your mother that was taken advantage of like that, I bet you'd be singing a different tune. Tom, peace out and have a great day.
Thank you, man. That's true. Think about your mom. Your mom's sitting there, and she's spilling out of a recliner. She can hardly walk. She can't lift her foot but a few inches. And then some guy sells her a walk-in tub that she cannot fit into or sit down in. Come on. Who can say there's something right with that? Let's talk to Carolyn and revisit this problem. Carolyn, she is the one who claims her son was killed by a pharmacy, a compounding pharmacy, because they overdosed him with a medication. And again, this is such a complicated case, but in any case, she's been on a rampage against, of course, the pharmacy and against the everybody that had anything to do with this, and she wants people to be aware of this, she said, and she refused a settlement based on the fact that they were forcing her to sign a confidentiality, and she said she doesn't want to keep her mouth shut. Mark, what were you going to say?
Just explain. A lot of people have asked, what is a compound pharmacy?
A compounding pharmacy is a pharmacy that will compound elements that are prescribed by a doctor. Like, for example, let's say you have certain hormone replacements you need to take, and you don't want to take a fistful of pills. You can have a compounding pharmacy. If you have a doctor prescribe it, they can prescribe the formulation, and a compounding pharmacy can make it. Contrary to popular belief, you do not have to go to the FDA to get something approved to prescribe it. This is really what a lot of people misunderstand. You only have to go for FDA approval if it's going to be made available on the open market for prescribing. In other words, in order to say this is a prescription for this condition, you need FDA approval. But Mark, did you know you do not need FDA approval for compounds?
I did know that.
All a doctor has to say is, I have found this, this, and this to be effective for this condition. Therefore, I'm going to prescribe it. And a compounding pharmacy can compound it for them. Now, that doctor can't take that compound and go on the open market and say, this, this, and this is good for this condition, and sell it on the open market without FDA approval. But individually, any doctor can prescribe anything to anyone using a compounding pharmacy. It's still allowed. So Carolyn's son was getting a compound from a pharmacy. Now, the doctor that prescribed it, I imagine, had a certain formulation in mind, right, Carolyn?
Oh, he is a wonderful doctor, actually.
And the compounding pharmacy itself overdosed one of the elements, right?
Yes.
Allegedly. Allegedly. And then you are claiming that it killed your son.
Well, yes,
I have to say it that way, Carolyn. I mean, because there has been no adjudication, there has been no determination here.
Correct.
Okay. So where are we standing today? You have an update of some kind?
Yes. I just left negotiation. Well, it wasn't a negotiation at all, actually. Good day. The pharmacy is only willing to pay for my little boy's Medicaid bills. Only.
How much does that come
in the
to?
Amount of, I think the attorney, she said, I was very upset. She said 108.9.
Well, that's what Good Day is offering, correct? As a settlement.
$108,000.
But it doesn't. Yes, it doesn't go to me. It goes to Medicaid.
Right, because Medicaid wants to be reimbursed. That's right. Now,
but nothing above and beyond that at all.
But see,
suffering of my son.
If you go to see an attorney, I do believe you can fight for wrongful death, separate and apart from that. These damages for the ones Medicaid are asking for, you can fight for a settlement beyond that. I mean, I'm not privy to this case, so I don't know how strong the case is, Carolyn, but I don't know what to tell you to do. Have you seen, didn't you say you had an attorney, a law firm that you fired?
Yes, I did, actually.
And why did you fire them? Did they not want to go to court? Did they not think it was worth more? Usually people fire attorneys when they have a disagreement on the settlement amount.
No, I'm not sure who got what here. I'm a little confused at the moment of what's going on. But they did not do their job. And I've actually babysat the case 24/7, 7 days a week since my since the overdose.
Did you run it by Fuller Law? Did you ever call John Fuller and ask him his opinion?
You know what? I absolutely adore John.
Well, what did John tell you?
Well, he first recommended Leventhal and Puga, and he explained exactly for what I should say. He really highly recommended them, and
for this particular case.
Yes, for this case.
Okay. Well, but did he say what he thought the case was worth?
John did not. John said that this was a grand scope. It was a huge, massive deal outside of his. He readily admitted that this is not his field of expertise.
No, and see, that's what I love about John Fuller. If you go to him, he tries to evaluate the case, and he will honestly tell you what he thinks of it. And if it's a traffic case or if it's a case where he believes he can do some good, he'll take the case, and he'll tell you straight up what he thinks it's worth and what he thinks he can get, and you have a choice of hiring him or not. I love John Fuller because he's one of the most honest personal injury people I know. However, when it comes to something outside his bailiwick, he will readily recommend people. That doesn't mean, of course, any guarantees they'll do what you want. But where was the disagreement you had, Carolyn, with the law firm? What was the bottom line disagreement?
Well, the bottom line disagreement is that they didn't do anything on the case, and then they waited very, very long to even file the claim against the pharmacy, and they didn't put much effort into that claim, and it was for the exact amount that I was offered today, actually. And when I disagreed with that amount, they basically just washed their hands of me.
Well, here's what they're saying. That if you don't take that settlement, they probably don't think they can do any better. And you say it's washing their hands. They're actually doing you a favor, because if you insisted on going to court and all you got was the original offer, you're going to get a third less than that because they're going to take their fees. So what they're telling you is...
Yeah, it is actually a gift because, I don't think they deserve a part of the percentile at all for the hard work that I put into it. And the money really doesn't lie in the pharmacy. The money lies in, the state and the hospitals. And unfortunately, the state of Colorado deems a child's life worthless because they have no earning potential.
That's right. They in some cases, they do. So really, I don't know how I can help you, Carolyn. This is a tragic case. You lost your son. You're looking for a settlement, and a settlement's been offered. Now Medicaid is stepping in saying they want a portion of it. I don't know what I can do to help you.
Well, apparently, according to their firm, the pharmacy is only going to pay Medicaid, and then I would countersue the pharmacy company.
Right.
I would actually file a lawsuit against them.
That's what you have to do.
I guess I need an attorney that is willing to take.
I don't know. I don't know of any. I mean, well, we can try.
Just a lawsuit.
We can try Marco.
Marco would be, I mean, if Marco would be your best shot.
If you think you have a case.
He does actual stuff like
Marco Bendinelli.
The overdose is proven. It's been proven by a national testing laboratory.
Okay.
He had 30 milligrams of clonidine.
But
it's really cut and dry.
But how long after the overdose did he die?
About 200 days.
See, that's the hard part. Is that connection?
Well, I'm not going to try to prove that with the pharmacy. That's a federal issue that needs to be proven with the FDA.
Call Bendinelli.
Yeah, why don't you get your case reviewed by Marco Bendinelli? And by the way, do we have his number, Marco?
It's on the referral list.
Well, it's really cool. It's 1-800-ATTORNEY,
oh, that's
isn't
right.
it?
1-800-ATTORNEY.
The best
And by
number.
the way, John Fuller, for those, when you heard me say John Fuller for those other cases, I mean, he's just a great guy for that. And you heard, he'll answer your questions. He's very patient. He says people call him from the show all the time when it comes to personal injury. 303-597-4500. Listen, he'll only take the case if he thinks he can do some good because he takes a portion of it, but there's no fees, as far as other than contingency. That's johnrfuller.com, 303-597-4500.
Suzanne, what do you think this was saying? I mean, they're saying it's way less than 108. They said it was 14 something.
I'm thinking, that all they want is 14,000. I don't understand the letter either.
A tax lien or the IRS knocking at your door. If you owe back taxes, been years since you filed, or you've been slapped with an audit.
Yeah.
Get relief.
I don't like what we found out.
I know Ron and Jack Larson ain't
other
vouch
son
for their professionalism.
I know. I don't think we go there, though. It's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing.
Tax relief.
Can you kill that for a second?
Relief.
Yeah.
I
Want the
trust
audio?
Jack Larson and their team of
Experts to give you the absolute best possible resolution. Get your issues cleaned up once and for all. 844-LARSON-TAX. Get your life back and those worries gone. LarsonTaxRelief.com or 844-LARSON-TAX. That's 844-LARSON-TAX. Larson Tax Relief is the only tax relief organization I endorse on myreferralist.com.
Why does stepping foot into a car dealership have to be so painful? Right? Why do we have to practice saying things like, I'm just looking, or what's your lowest price? Why can't somebody just let us take our time and listen to what we really want? Well, guys, it's Dave Logan, and I'm here to tell you there's a better way. It's been right in our backyard since 1993. Experience one price, one person, 1 hour, and 0 dealer handling fees, just like I did at Colorado's own Shop BMW. Learn more at shopbmw.com today.
You followed your physician's advice and taken your medication, but you're still having to make frequent and urgent trips to the bathroom day and night. What else can you do? If your current medication isn't controlling your overactive bladder and urinary symptoms as well as you would like, you may be interested to learn about a new research study in the Denver metro area. Call 303-320-0120. That's 303-320-0120 to see if you qualify.
Rates are still low. Save thousands and have lower payments. Take AIM, Affordable Interest Mortgage.
Whether you're refinancing or purchasing your new home, we have new loan programs that allow you to borrow up to 97% of value.
Stop paying $200, $300, $400 a month in mortgage insurance. Take AIM, 720-895-0500.
Purchase your next home with as little as 1% down with no mortgage insurance.
With our low rates, that means you can buy a $300,000 house with $3,000 down and payments less than you are paying for rent.
Call 720-895-0500 to find out why more Coloradans are using Affordable Interest Mortgage to refinance or purchase their next home.
We will listen to you, and we will personalize your loan to fit your lifestyle. We offer you a paperless loan process, a fast close, and up-to-date communication throughout the process.
720-895-0500. Take AIM as your local and trusted broker broker since 2001.
720-895-0500.
NMLS 298191. Regulated by DORA, Equal Credit Lender.
There's a reason why insurance companies want to settle quickly with you after a car accident. Don't make that mistake. I'm John Fuller with Fuller Injury Law. Contact me.
People are jonesing out there. Sorry, Dan forgot to change the mic. We just got on him.
Actually, it goes to
Dan, be sure to turn audio back on.
System at Plumline Services.
it goes to the radio.
Stir in the pot, buddy.
See what I got to put up with, Fran?
Did you see how, have you seen how yours has been working?
Yes, Allie looks awesome.
They actually get calls during the show because it's a call to action.
Please ask Gary. We need real estate.
What do you mean?
Oh, do a call to action.
I don't know. I've been thinking about that. It's tough. With yours, hopefully, well, not hopefully, what happens is, when they finally do think about buying or selling, it all kicks in. Theirs, they literally have, he rotates a bunch of these. He just rotated one. One phone call can cut your insurance bill in half, bam. But they're getting calls every day. Your call to action, it's more of an impression into their brain.
Yeah, but I need some very specific calls to action for Mr. Digital.
Yep.
This general image shit does not work for digital. It doesn't work. We need, bam. Like with him,
well, that video you did is pretty damn good.
No, what I would do for him is an absolute way to save $300 to $400 a month. That's it. Then we go to one little. All we talk about is that one thing. Okay, or a guarantee you'll never pay higher interest again, and then talk about a straight guarantee. Or you may be approved, but is there? But
his new product is what you want to push. 3-minute approval.
No, but are you approved? Even if approved, you can do better. So, and then talk about
improve your approval.
Yeah. So, but that's digital. We don't do general shit with digital. That's what we have to do. Those specific things.
All right. I'll talk to Skippy's in Europe, so we'll get together with you and Tyler.
What is your digital?
We use Excite Media.
But you're willing to take a look at it.
So much, we limit how much you can put.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713. Let's talk to Wanda. Hey people, if you ever have a comment on anything we're talking about, call in, even if we don't agree with you, like with Keith. I mean, Keith said that Bentley Bat did a great job. I mean, I want you to look at the video on Facebook and tell me that, but you can call us, okay? You can use the number 303-713-TALK or 303-MARTINO. Wanda, what's going on?
Okay, I just need some advice. I'm not here to trash talk any vendor or contractor. I just need some advice, and I'm hoping you can just kind of guide me whether I should just pay it or what I should do. But the contractor I used about 5-6 years ago to paint the outside of my house did a fabulous job. Came on time, did what he was supposed to do, charged me what he said he would do. Then I hire him to paint the inside of my house, my main level, which is about 1,100, 1,200 square feet, and then about 300 on my landing and upstairs. Okay, one was a vaulted ceiling, one area was vaulted. Gave me a price, said, this is what I'm going to paint it for.
How much?
Brought us not $1,944.
What happened?
I got the bill and he charged me $2,608.
Well, how did that happen? If you have a contract for $1,944, how did it go up?
Did you have a contract?
He said it was a quote, and
wait, but do you have the quote in writing?
I do.
And is it signed?
Via email, it's signed. It's electronic copy, yes.
Are there any disclaimers like this is an estimate and it can go up?
No, there's not.
So I need to see the nature of this before I comment.
Did he actually see the house?
I'm going to put you on my speaker.
Yeah.
Did he see the house?
Oh, absolutely. He's been in it. He painted the outside.
But did he come and estimate the interior?
Yes, sir, he did.
And he wrote down 1944 because that's a very specific number.
Yes. Here's the thing. He wrote down 24. Like he wrote down the dimensions and the cost of specific rooms.
And it came to 1944.
Yes, and it said all walls to be painted with Sherwin-Williams heavy body eggshell 2, then -2 coats. At the bottom, it says price includes all paint, labor, and materials needed to complete job.
For 1944.
Yes, and then right below that it says price excludes anything not mentioned above. But right before that it says price includes all paint, labor, and materials.
Okay, so I would ask when you show him that, and say, why did it go up? What did he say?
He said it needed a third coat.
Okay, now that's
He wasn't even here. He was.
Now,
he was
on that, does it say 2 coats or does it say 3?
It says 2 on the first line, and then it lines out every single room.
Okay, but hold on. It says 2 coats, though, right?
At the very top, and then at the very bottom, it says price includes all paint, labor.
I understand that, but it's for 2 coats.
Yes.
And he did an extra coat.
Yes.
Okay, now, if he did an extra coat, he should have gotten your approval for it.
Did he talk to you about doing an extra coat?
He was in another state. His foreman said, hey, I don't like up here where it's cut in. It's not covering good enough. And I said, just apply it thicker. That's what I did. I painted this entire house. I don't have time to do it myself.
But hold on.
That's why.
Hold on. Did you give approval for a third coat anywhere?
No, I did not.
Okay.
He said he would have Bruce call me.
I understand that. It's going to be a basic dispute. You should absolutely pay him the 1944.
Absolutely, and that's what I said. I would happily give you this.
No, not happily. You do it. You don't say, I will. You do it.
And if they actually did that third coat and the job looks good, maybe split the baby.
Well, here's the deal. I think technically they shouldn't charge you that if they didn't get your approval. But if you got the benefit of it, I agree with Mark, try to negotiate unless you absolutely don't have the money. But here's the thing. I don't think he's trying to rip you off. That's what I think. So I would probably, if you truly got 3 coats, are you doubting you got the 3 coats?
Yes, because the job was 2 to 3 days, is what he said it would take.
Wait, so you don't think they did 3 coats?
I think they did in areas. I think they did in some areas. I don't think the full.
Okay, but $600 would just about be that for a third coat in some major areas. Here's what I can tell you, Wanda. If it was me, I would pay the $1944, and I would say to them that I did not approve the third coat, and I'm not paying the extra $664, and that be it. And if he tries to put a lien on your house, then you have it quashed with this, or you sue him for $664 and pay him.
Or negotiate something that's fair.
I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. We can call the guy if you want, and we'd be happy to do that, but it doesn't sound like it's one of these cases where we need to be involved. I would just pay what you have it in writing.
Right. Well, I got a new bill a week and a half later saying pay this now.
Pay what now?
Pay the $2608. They left. His contract.
I understand that. Well, pay the $1944.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to do.
That's what I would do. And then he is going to balk, and you're going to either negotiate or you're going to let him put a lien on the house. And people put too much importance on liens anyway. Liens go away. You can get liens dismissed if they're not valid. And this one, I think, is not valid. I think you're right. But as Mark said, if you truly got the benefit of extra paint, you may want to try to do some negotiation. And I think that's the point Mark's making. It's not so much that he shouldn't get it. Okay, I wanted to talk about this tinnitus thing again. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center equipped me with this, and if you're online, you can see it. And this is for tinnitus treatment. They have this new treatment that they say is a permanent solution to tinnitus. I have to do it for 6 weeks, 6 hours a day.
And you've been doing it perfect.
I've been doing it, absolutely. And it's supposed to do away with my tinnitus. Now, I'm telling you, I say supposed to because everyone is reporting their tinnitus is going away. The reason I mention it is because they, of course, advertise with me. I'm their spokesperson, and I believe in taking part in all of this. I got one of their hearing aids that is wonderful, and that alone helps with tinnitus because of the white noise it generates when I want it to. But in any case, if you're interested in getting rid of tinnitus, I'm happy to announce there is finally something, really something you can do about it, and it's this this thing right here. And I'm trying to get this on the air if you can hear it. Let me hear it. Let me see. You can't hear it, can you? Nope. Doggone it. It's kind of an interesting thing. They measure my tinnitus and match the sound and then play sounds around it. And the idea is to desynchronize those signals in your brain so it doesn't feed you constant noise. It's very technical, but anyway, Dr. Patty and Dr. Lisa are the experts at hearing loss and tinnitus. 303-534-0163.
Is brought to you by Live.
Hey, are we getting Mitch a piece of that granite from that one deal?
So when there's an inspection, you have to see the inspection report now, right? The new rules and all that. So what do you guys do?
Yeah, who's working on it?
Go to the.
All right, you know, it doesn't typically go to the appraiser. Sometimes our underwriters will look at it, and then that may potentially create an issue with the appraiser.
That granite one, we need that guy to bring us a piece of that granite so we can get it finished. What? Either, yeah, you can call now after the show, you don't gotta call him right now. But we can't have, listen, if he's only got a little charm, we're dead in the
Not
water.
an inspection company, but a company that advertises they're an inspection mitigation company. So when you get an inspection, you give it to this company, and they put an absolute price tag on it. In other words, they say this will take $3,000 to fix everything on the list, and then they do it. Because here's why. Now you have $3,000. You can negotiate it up or down, or you can put it in the price or borrow more money, whatever. What I'm saying is, what breaks the deal, I've talked to real estate people, is not the inspection report, but the unknown. Because you could have an inspection report with 20 things, but they're so minor, they would cost $300. If you said to somebody, it'll only take $300 to solve this, they'll approve it. But if you show them the list, their mind goes crazy. They don't know what they're looking at. The biggest problem with home inspections is that people do not know how much it will cost to fix. So I'm suggesting that there be a company that literally takes the inspection report and does a pricing. That's it. Nothing more. They price out the... So then you can go and say, here, this is how much it's going to cost. What would be... Why aren't people doing that? Inspection companies don't do it, and they shouldn't because they have a vested interest. But if they give you the inspection report, Mark, there should be a company that does nothing but inspection mitigation. That's all they should do.
You mean put $1 on it?
A total dollar, and then a guarantee to have it all done. But then you can escrow that money.
We had a realtor call in one time that was pissed off the guy brought a contractor with him and the inspector.
Well, first of all, the inspector shouldn't do that, but they should have a price on it.
Why not the inspector do it?
Because he has a vested interest in finding shit then. It's wrong.
Oh, I see what you're
It's wrong. Yeah. You should have an independent company look at the inspection.
I don't know if it's necessarily
I
wrong.
think it's absolutely wrong. I don't want an inspector looking at stuff if he does repairs. I don't want it. Yeah. Or has a repair company. I do not want it.
So you take it, you hand it to this other guy who's outside of it, you get an estimate.
The real estate person can say, look, here's the inspection mitigation company. They say, even though this is on the either the buyer or seller, it doesn't matter. Because inspections can kill deals. They kill deals. Do they kill deals?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
the homeowner, how about the homeowner, when they're doing the inspection, calls that guy over along with the inspection? Or the buyer?
You wait until the inspection's over. There's no chance of influence. Then the contractor...
Am I correct in saying it's not illegal to do what I just said, though, right?
Of course it isn't, but it's unethical, in my opinion. To have a contractor with the inspector, I think it sucks. First of all, the contractor doesn't have to do the job, doesn't have to walk the property if an inspector gives him a sheet. And he promises to fix whatever's on the sheet. And so now you can go into a closing knowing that I'm going to get everything fixed. Forget negotiating.
How about a guy like we put up recently on the referral list that was in? He doesn't actually do the work. He goes in there and helps you get it done. Would you have a problem with someone like that going in with the inspector?
Yeah, because that's just bullshit. You know, that's just...
Geez, if I was trying to get a better price on the house, I think next time I'll bring
it's not to get a better price on the house. It's in order not to kill a real estate deal. It's for all parties involved. I've seen people walk away because of an inspection, not knowing, okay, my inspector said all of your stucco is bad. All of it. And I said, really? I was panicked. Do you know why he said it was bad? Because it went down to the ground, and it had to be shaved off and a weather stripping put in. Do you know what it cost? $800. This guy made it sound like I was going to spend 50 grand. But it said all he wrote was, blah, blah, blah.
So he killed the deal.
Subject to, no, not me, because I had the stucco people go out, Pablo, and say, what is it going to take to fix this? He says like $800. We just have to go around and shave. We have to shave the bottom of the house up from ground level and then seal it. Okay. Well, guess what?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. People, call me if you have help, information, referrals. Also, if you are a general contractor and you want to start a business with me, call me. But you have to be good and know everything. I'm going to start, I'm starting a tub business.
Man, you don't have no idea how far I got on that yesterday.
No, I'm serious.
We have a corporation.
We're going to do the walk-in tub business.
We have an EIN number.
Yep.
And I just applied for, forgive me, I'm not in the medical field, but it's a medical number of some sorts.
Right, and then Courtney Pierce is going to supply us, and then I got an installer, and we have to do quality, though.
We're getting in the bathtub business.
The main deal is cheap. The main deal is cheap. Seriously, if people, we will be transparent with our pricing because these other people don't even talk price. I will talk price, and I'm looking at a price tag of maybe, I don't know, I can't say, but I'm thinking around 3 to 4, maybe 5 tops. I don't know, $5 grand, and because it's going to be a small markup, it's mainly just to put these other guys out of business. I'm very open about it. Now I want to do an inspection mitigation company. I'm tired of saying things should be done because we talked about this off the air, guys. Inspections kill real estate deals not because of the severity of the problem, but the unknown of the problem.
Do you even know what our new corporation's name is?
No, but you'll tell me. What is it?
Consumers
First?
First.
Well, okay. Is that going to encompass our other stuff too?
I think that's the main umbrella.
Now listen to what I mean. Stephanie, you're in Colorado Springs. You sell real estate. Yes. So if Stephanie Thomas at 719-687-2052, she lists a home, somebody wants to buy it, or you go to buy a house, either one, the inspector comes back with a list of about 25 things. What does your seller or buyer usually say? What does your buyer say? Because they're the ones that get the report. What does your buyer say?
The buyers
There's 25 things. They freak out.
Absolutely.
And then what? Then they talk to the homeowner, and the seller usually says, we're not doing all that.
Yeah,
right?
Homeowners tend to get their feelings hurt a
Frank,
little bit.
what happens with inspections? Tell me the God's honest truth. Even in a hot market, what happens?
Yeah, a lot of times there's emotion involved, and sellers will say, you got to be kidding me. And then send us 12 things?
Yeah, and sellers say, we're not doing this, or the buyers insist they do it, or they split it, right? But they don't know. Okay, now, what if those 12 things cost $100,000? You'd want to know that, because that's a major deal. But what if those, most of the time, I had an inspection sheet that had 25 things on it. And I thought, oh my God. Those 25 things added up to $8 grand on this house I was looking at. I went out and priced each and every one of them. So now when I went to negotiate, I wasn't negotiating a list. I was negotiating a price, a guaranteed price. Don't you think, and I've said this a million times, if there was an inspection mitigation company and all they did was after an independent inspector looks at the house, you submit this inspection report to them, and they go through everything and price it and guarantee to fix everything for a set price, would that take a lot of stress out of the transaction?
Absolutely. It would make it more efficient.
It would, yeah.
Because now they're not looking at unknowns. They're looking at a solid price. So if it was $3,500, it's $3,500. Then you might think, wait a minute, it's only $3,500. Let's take 3 from you, or let's take $1,500 here, $1,500 there, or we'll increase the loan, or we'll do this, or we'll do that. I mean, you can do things like that. I mean, there's sometimes room to increase a loan, right?
Yeah, there is, depending on, what we're looking at, what types of repairs need to be done.
If it was a major repair and you agreed to have it done, can you escrow that money in the loan? or not?
You can. It's really difficult. A lot of times they don't want to do that because then we're dealing with various disbursements and managing that pool of money.
But if you wanted to hold money at closing to have these things done, you would know how much to hold. What I'm saying is, I think, why hasn't it been done? I'm not talking about having people that can do some of it. I'm not talking about running around to 15 different people. I'm talking about going to one contractor who can do it all or have it done for one set price. Russell, are you a general contractor?
Yes, I am. Well, my partner holds a license.
What kind of license?
It's a general contractor license in the city of Denver.
Really? Okay, leave your name with Suzanne. I am talking to people. Listen, folks, you see a need, you fill it. You fill it. An inspection mitigation company. I want to launch this company. I don't even want a big part of it. I just want to help people. This is stupid that there is no such thing. The real estate industry is crying for it. Deals won't be killed with an inspection because there will be a price on it.
Stick around for more. I'm telling you, I'm not talking anymore. I'm just doing it.
You got $1 million idea right here.
No, I'm telling you that I'm tired of. I really mean it. Mark and I are starting to do some stuff we've been talking about because I'm not going to wait for people to do it. This walk-in tub industry, they charge $16,000. Frank, if I went to the world's best walk-in tub I could find anywhere in the universe, I would pay maybe $2,500 for it at the factory.
Right.
Maybe $3,000. An installer may get $1,500.
You splitting?
Yeah, my wife's gone. I got to go to Mrs. Crabtree's first grade class at 1 o'clock that my wife volunteered herself for and is now out of town.
What do you want me to plug?
That jacket would look much better on me, man.
What do you want to plug?
I like it. You know what? Plug that we can close in 3 weeks. That's the...
That's not just for pre-approval?
No, that's not for pre-approval. We're now staffed up.
Okay, okay, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
big deal.
It's huge. So hammer that. That helps. That, because we talk to these guys and it's like, look, where can we help get a deal accepted? And it's speed. So good to
I'll
see
be
you.
in touch,
Great to meet you. Thank you. Yeah, shoot me a text email.
Yeah, no, the only thing that's going to make
Brent,
it a
I
good
don't want
idea
you to run
also
by
is
you,
if they
okay?
itemize it
Yeah,
out.
for sure.
Drive
Still
safe,
allow
buddy.
the
I don't
seller to say,
I fly to Orlando. I'm cheerleading with my mom. I'm here today. I just got to run to Northridge Elementary for Brady's thing.
Okay, cool.
All right. See
Drive
you
safe.
later.
God bless you.
Thanks, guys. You too.
Looking for a white man in an orange tank top with a blue stripe, brown buzz cut, carrying a handgun. FBI Director James Comey arrested claims that he may have influenced the presidential election.
Hey, Tom, I got those 15 seconds running this month. Those spots we did last year, I got them running. I got 53 spots running this month.
Where are you running them?
Shelf work. Yeah.
11 days before
I caught a couple the other day.
Proud of the way we debated it. And at the end of the day, everyone on my team agreed we have to tell Congress that we are restarting this in a
And if
huge
you're going to do it, you want to mark it with the realtor boards.
was found in the email probe.
Seriously, go become a affiliate of the realtor boards.
Good idea.
In a White House meeting with Palestinian
That's one of the best ways to get.
My mom is fucking crazy. She's abusive.
Is it another
I'm
one?
not saying who this is, no.
Is it the same one?
Facebook says it plans to hire thousands of employees to monitor videos posted on the social media site.
These new hires will be on the lookout for crimes and suicides.
Mark, Ross Kaminsky just asked me this morning, he's like, have you heard about 13 Reasons Why? We've got to get on this show.
I've heard about it. What is it about?
I guess it's about teenage suicide or something, but schools are putting warnings out to their kids about the show.
It's 13 reasons why this girl killed herself.
Yeah, so we got to get on that. It's a Netflix show.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean to watch it, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, and then Ross says if we watch it, he'd like to talk to us about it since we've got teenagers.
But I hear that it's terrible, and it's
I-
almost...
She blames everybody.
It's almost advancing suicide.
Well, that's why they're saying
I've
the
heard
warning.
depending on your mental stability, watch or don't watch.
Really? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's
it's
what I've
like
heard.
just, it's like all the...
I am too much of a coward to commit suicide.
Yeah, I wouldn't have the balls.
I'm just a coward.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, a lot of people say, no, that takes strength. No,
No.
I think I'm a coward. I cannot kill myself.
It takes a lot of balls.
There were times in my life, you don't even want to.
You get
I was
dark.
so
You get in a
down,
dark place.
And I couldn't do it.
Right.
I couldn't.
But think about pain. Think about chronic pain. That's
Right.
where I
There
feel
you
bad
go.
for people like, gee, if you're in enough pain for long enough time, you might. You might.
Mental pain too, that's a lot of people. It's just not just physical.
I mean, I've had minor procedures where it caused a lot of pain, and it's rough. So, anyway, did Brent leave?
Yeah.
Okay, you doing good? I'm good. Okay. Did you see I don't want to say it out loud, but did you see the latest on the online too? You know, we're always given the rundown. Look at that hand. Read it. It's 3 of them.
Huh. That's an easy one to solve.
There's a good place in Franktown.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. Listen, folks, it's very important that each one of you tells someone else about the show,
and together we will solve problems. You have to get over the notion that this is the Tom Martino Show or my show or K-House Show or iHeartMedia. By the way, iHeart, I must say, iHeartRadio, available all over. So if you're listening on iHeart, hello, from anywhere in the country, you're included. You can get help free of charge through us. And the thing I like about iHeart, you can listen to my archive shows, you can listen to live shows. In fact, iHeart, you can listen to any radio station anywhere or build your own radio station. You can have a virtual station, pick everything you want to hear, when you want to hear it, make it your favorites, and then sign in, get a login, and it's the best thing I've ever done with my phone. And then if you Bluetooth your phone to your radio, you can listen to national radio anytime. You don't even need satellite service. I swear to you, you use your cell service and iHeart app, and you got better than any satellite. So anyway, my spiel is, this show, I want you to, honest to God, feel like it's your show. The only time we will come at odds is when I don't think you have a problem I can help with. That's all. Period. That's it. So here's what I'm saying. You can use this show. Literally use it. So if you say to somebody, I'm investigating this for the Tom Martino Show, I will stand behind you. Okay? As long as it's legal and you don't do anything stupid, I'm telling you, you got to do this. This is the only show of its kind, and we're not on a high and mighty broadcast pedestal. We are with you. It is your show. I take the media and I use it for us. Okay? That is why I am not liked by the media, because we use the media to get your word out. Okay, now, good people love us. That's why you find people on the referral list. They love us. But there are people that don't. Even if you don't like me personally, use the radio show for your own good. Use it. Okay? I'm serious. Even if you don't like me, you can call and say, Tom, I don't like you, but I think this should be known. You don't have to like me. It has nothing to do with me. It has to do with the forum that I invented. And I can't understand why more people won't take advantage of it. Okay? 303-713-TALK. Anything to add, Mark? Do we mean it? How much do we work behind the scenes solving problems?
More than we work on the air.
Why do we do that? Thank God we're able to do that because we have advertisers and we have supporters and we have iHeart. We're able to do it. So we take what we make and we use it to help others. Okay? That's what we do for a career. Thank goodness we are able to do this. We use the media for this. Okay?
Yeah, like us or not.
All right. Now, what's going on with Rob? Hello, Rob.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Good. What's going on, sir?
Tom, I've called in at least half a dozen times over the last 3 years and brought up this inspection mitigation company with you. I've been in the construction business, and I've been listening to you for 30 years. And I've seen this need since the 80s. Everybody gets these inspection reports. They don't understand what they are exactly. They don't understand why does it have to be so much money for this or so much money for that, and they go to buy the house. They just bottles up the entire works.
Now, I'm not talking about, Rob, any kind of long-term relationship, or I'm not talking about somebody instead of somebody on my list. Like, for example, if you move into a home and you want to have a hot tub installed, or you want to have a deck, or you want to have a bathroom remodel, or you want to have windows, then you go to the referral list. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about one company with one focus only, and that is to take the stress out of an inspection report.
Sometimes these inspection reports can be misleading.
Right.
And it may be overwhelming. I deal with this
That is
every single
exactly
day.
right, Rob. They're
People say,
overwhelming.
What does this even mean? I don't even understand what this means. Is this going to be a $50,000 problem?
Exactly.
You know, and it happens every single day. I have to explain these inspection reports, and sometimes the reports are wrong.
Now, the only thing we would have to do is we would have to have a system whereby we can price out that inspection report for the real estate people and the consumers, so when they go to closing, they know that they have a solid, or they negotiate, they can feel comfortable closing on this home. I think it would be wise, because the estimate would cost them nothing, and if they want the work done, they get the work done. And here's the point. Here's the point. Now, some people, I think, would use us just to get an estimate, do the negotiating, and not use us. That might be so what we might want to do is charge for it and then credit it toward the work, or not. I don't know. It should be free, I think. I think it should be free.
I think it should be free
now,
as well. I do estimating now.
And if the house needs some furnace work, for example, and we're not licensed in furnaces, we would have to have a way to contract that out, but not contract it out to someone who's going to charge out the nose, but just to get it done quickly, efficiently, and properly. And only for
plenty of vendors on your list. That do exactly that.
That's right. And see, but we would have to be able. What do you guys think when you get an inspection report? How long do you think we should have? I think they'd want to see within a day. They'd want to see some kind of estimate, don't you?
You need to give yourself a little bit of time with the inspection resolution to get some numbers in place for the seller. So when you're originally agreeing on your contract terms,
so when
that's something you really want to get.
So once you get an inspection, though, is what I'm talking about. How long does it usually take to resolve that? After the inspection?
Within about 3 to 4 days' time, usually.
So we would have to get an estimate to them pretty quickly.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I try to get mine to them within 48 hours.
Now, here's the deal. Are you a licensed general contractor?
No, I'm an estimator. I've been a contractor. I'm a little bit too old for that stuff.
Here's what I wonder. If we need a general contractor's license, I think we probably do. If we, I don't know, not to estimate we don't, but I'm wondering, though, if you send out licensed contractors to do the work. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know exactly.
If the contractors are licensed, it's all well and good. Some items will need to be inspected after they're done, so a permit will be needed to be pulled. Other items won't. And it's up to the estimator or somebody to make that determination as part of the estimate.
So hold on a second. Just give your name, number off the air. I mean to Suzanne. And Stephanie Thomas is one of our guests today. She's a real estate broker in Colorado Springs, and she is on our referral list down there. And then Frank Duran, the real estate man, is here in the Denver metro area. Brent Ivinson from Ideal Home Loans had to leave, but they moved their 3-week guarantee to all loans, not just pre-approvals. So they are guaranteeing a close in 3 weeks or less, which is incredible. But Stephanie mentioned to me that if you do an inspection mitigation company, you need to itemize each line so people can say, hey, we'll take care of these, you take care of these, right? Rather than a lump sum.
Absolutely.
Right.
A lot of times when you're negotiating, the sellers will say, I want to take care of the health and safety issues only. I'm not going to go in and fix the little cosmetic type things or things of that nature.
But I'm telling you that I looked on my report, and it had things like a broken switch plate. I mean, things that, but really, when you looked at it in whole, in its entirety, it was scary. But when you went through each individual thing and put a price on it, you realized this is not insurmountable. And that is the problem I think you people have in the real estate industry, getting deals closed after an inspection. I'll bet you that's probably the biggest deal when it comes to selling a home. Not qualification, of course, would be one, but don't you think inspection mitigation is one of the big hurdles, Frank Duran?
That, Tom, is usually the biggest hurdle. The big hurdle. Once you get past that hurdle, 9 times out of 10, you're going to close. Yeah.
So just think if you could take out the mystery, the fear, and just say,
fear of the unknown.
Not here's the problem, but guess what? This house has about $2,500 worth of stuff, and it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Philip, Philip is not on. Are you on with Philip? He dropped off. I wanted to help him, so I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, it doesn't matter. 303-713-TALK. George has a question. Go ahead, George.
Hey, Tom, I was interested in this Bentley tub issue and wondering whether the prescription called for just a walk-in tub or specifically a bariatric walk-in tub.
I don't know.
I don't think it ultimately takes him off the hook, but I'm also wondering whether he carries true bariatric walk-in tubs.
What do you mean? Are you saying bariatric or geriatric?
Bariatric. Bariatric has to do with obesity.
Oh.
And so, these walk-in tubs are generally available for people who have limited...
You know what? I don't know that, and I would guess probably not. I mean, I would just take a guess.
Well, and I mention this because I forgot about the actual dimensions that you mentioned, not just for the door and for the seat, but there are bariatric style tubs that have seats that are a full 30.5 inches wide. And I'm wondering also about the door, because you'd have to address that issue.
Yeah, but I would say that might be a weak point because I don't think anywhere it said bariatric or even alluded to that. But I will say that it is inappropriate, George, one way or another. Ingrid, welcome. Your water heater broke. What happened?
Yes, hello. The water heater broke.
Yes, Ingrid.
And thank you for taking my call.
No problem.
And I had to call a restoration company. And
No, hold on. Oh, a restoration company because you had water and all of that.
Yes. And lucky enough, the basement is totally empty and all the floors were in good condition.
What kind of floors? Concrete?
No, they're tile. Tile and one is vinyl.
Okay,
or something
so
like
you
that.
called a disaster restoration company.
Yes.
And what are they going to do for you?
Well, they sucked the water out and it took them 2 hours.
Right.
And
then they put fans in.
Yeah.
And then did they do the water heater?
No, I did it myself.
What do you mean you did it yourself?
Well, I hired someone to replace it and put it
How much
back
did you pay for the water heater?
Well, with the installation, it was $1,500.
What kind did you get?
A Rheem, but it's not from Home Depot. This is directly from
No, I understand. I was just curious about the water heater. Okay, so then the other part of this restoration company, how did you find them?
Well, okay, I called one of your plumbers and
Yes.
they said they're not coming until the water's gone. And
Right,
they
that's right.
mentioned the restoration company.
Okay, who
So
did they mention?
Pardon?
Who did they mention, dear?
They didn't mention anybody. I tried to find it in the phone book and I couldn't.
No. They said we can't come out there until you take care of the water.
Yeah.
I understand that. And then they said, but you can call such and such?
No. I found it myself.
Oh, okay. I thought they did. So our plumber said you got to get the water first, and then you found the restoration company. What's the name of that company?
It's called Disaster Restoration, Colorado Disaster Restoration.
Do we know them? Colorado Disaster Restoration?
LLC.
LLC.
Want the address?
No, it's okay. And
they charged $7,100 for 2 hours worth of work.
They're ridiculous. All of them are. I'm just telling you that straight up again. This is another industry.
Usually it's insurance pay.
Well, yeah, that's what, I'm with Compass Insurance, and my adjuster also wants to talk to you because he said he can't make any headways with them, and they charge me for a lot of items that are usually not required.
Oh, God. Is your insurance company paying it, though?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
Okay.
Did you put it into your insurance?
Yes, I did.
Who's your carrier?
Compass.
What do you mean
Nationwide.
Nationwide, but you use our Compass Insurance Group?
Yes, because you advertised it.
No, I understand. They're great. But why is Nationwide not covering this?
I don't know.
Well, we need to find out. Hold on.
I thought Nationwide was supposed to be on your side.
Yeah, hold on. Suzanne, we need to get Compass on to help us out with this. I need to know why that's happening. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, let's talk about teeth. If you want to have a straight, beautiful smile as an adult, do you know how much that'll cost you if you want to do it quickly? Well, if you do veneers, or implants, like veneers and implants, a combination, it's going to cost you, $50,000. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. If you want to do braces, you could be in braces 4 years. Now, if you want to do something else, like the new orthodontics, It'll take a fraction of the time of braces, 6 months to 2 years, tops, no surgeries, no extractions. Now, of course, if you have missing teeth, you know, that's an implant. You get that done somewhere else. But if you need to straighten and beautify your mouth, Dr. Kent Lawson has a natural way to do it with graduated mouthpieces and expanding your palate without surgery, yes, even as an adult, that will naturally straighten your teeth and align your jaw and give you a beautiful smile. And if you need braces, it'll be for a minimal amount of time, and he uses Invisalign. You won't believe how beautiful this will be and how inexpensive it is compared to veneers and compared to conventional orthodontics. You have to give Dr. Kent Lawson a call. It can help with your TMJ, it can help with your sleep apnea, and it will help you look more beautiful. 303-690-0100. 303-690-0100.
I'm interested why her insurance would not cover that. We need to help her with that.
There's still a few slow, stubborn spots.
We need them to explore this
freeway system is concerned. Southbound 225.
I thought if it's a slow leak, they won't cover. You know,
I thought she said it broke.
No, it did broke, but like say, that's probably what they're saying. Hey, this is a, you know,
it's not an event.
Right. That's what I would say.
You're right. Because like if it froze, they would.
Right.
That's an event.
Major water line break.
Oh, but what happened? I didn't even hear it. Where did the flood come from?
Water hit.
It broke.
So imagine what it was. It rusted out. That's usually what happens.
Yeah, you'll see erosion and it takes
You know what? As much as I don't like you, I am.
Yeah, he's stirring the pot.
Hey, watch.
cluster.
Yeah!
Oh, no.
Did you see it?
No.
Oh, the video was off.
Hold on. I did it. There may be a timing. As my kid says, I did. Well, experts. Ready? Is one of them. I got it now. One of them I always say, hey, I hope you don't need
Mark.
He
called it off the shade, too.
Here's another one. It doesn't matter as long as you ready. Sometimes you're not stupid. You're just in the wrong place. You're falsely accused. Sometimes there's a deep.
We got that one. We got that one on video.
It was pretty dang close. Guilty or innocent, you need to get through the system, and you can't do it. I want Mark to sit here and try, because he always...
All right, make it from here and there and everywhere, but he wants me to sit there.
Right here, this is it, without looking.
Every time.
Tom's doing it
Lunch? Lunch?
Without looking.
What do you mean without looking?
Without looking, like this. Ready?
Yeah.
You can look like this, and then go...
Yeah, okay, lunch.
Come on.
Lunch?
No! Appetizer, come on.
He owes me like 17 lunch
bullshit. You never.
Like 17.
We get this all the time.
Okay.
How about if I don't even look back? Not even one time.
Yeah, well, Michael, I don't think yeah.
You didn't do it like I said. Left hook. Left hook. Here. You gotta sit. No, you gotta sit down. Now left hook. Go. Watch it.
Yeah, that's where we are. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I see this like
Somebody says, oh, come on. Just sit there and do it.
Yeah. Oh no.
Okay, ready?
No, she's been out there for a while now.
What?
Who is
Concrete lift right now.
All right, let's talk about slabs, concrete slabs. I'm out of breath. Okay, let me just be straight with you. I'm out of breath. Because we were
Playing hoop in the studio. So if you're streaming us, you'd find out that we were playing hoop.
And I won.
And so anyway, let me catch my breath. No, I'm just kidding. I want to tell you about something that's really serious, though. And we were talking about real estate and home inspections and stuff. One of the problems almost everyone has in Colorado, and you will continue to have them, is slabs, sidewalks, concrete footers, things that sink or heave or crack, and it's due to voids in settlement of soil. We have a new client, and I love this guy, Devin, because he does such a great job on concrete lifting and stabilization. Devin Johns. Remember, concrete lift and stabilization. Why should you call them? First of all, he is the owner and operator, and he does it all, and he does free evaluations. But what I love is that he has both mud jacking, which is a concrete mix, and he has polymer polymer jacking or pumping. Now, polymers are plastics that expand. Now, each job would require a different kind of approach. And because he does both of them, you're fully covered. So he will tell you what you need. Polyjacking is wonderful. And it takes a very special skill. And once you lift this concrete into place, the sinking or the heaving, once you do that, you can then repair the cracks easily, and it's just a fraction of the cost of tearing out and replacing. Here's how you get a hold of Devin Johns, okay? On your smartphone, you hit pound 250, send. Pound 250, send. When they answer, give the keyword concrete lift, and then you'll get a text with all of the contact information. It's a great way to do it. It's quick. Pound 250, send, and then say concrete lift, and you'll love concrete lift and stabilization.
Rockies baseball is back this weekend with the two top teams in the NL West battling each other. Be there for the action as the Colorado Rockies take on the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Earlier in the show, I asked the guy if he
got his cabinets quoted, you know, if he compared. He said he went to Home Depot. We're still waiting for the results on that, but I told him he needs to give Mitch Floria at Art of Granite a shot at that. Now, Mark, you said that you did compare a lot of places, even these so-called discount places, and you said Mitch on the cabinets had a better price.
Oh, way better. Not only better, better quality, but we checked out Lowe's. They designed the whole thing and all this, but Mitch does all the same stuff. I don't want to say half the price, but pretty close to half the price.
Okay. Now, here's the thing about Mitch. You know, it's Art of Granite, so he does the countertops and vanities, of course. He can do granite or any solid surface or any stone, but he also does cabinets. Now, he's been in business since '03 when he came to America with $300. This guy does a great business. It starts with a phone call. He can give you an estimate based on photos and measurements. Then when you like the estimate, you go to the shop and pick out specific stuff, and he'll give you a solid price that will not change. The whole thing takes 1 to 4 weeks, complete turnaround with countertops and cabinets, one or both, and whatever you do in the kitchen, he does in the bathroom free. He also will tear out and haul away everything old for free. 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919, artofgranite.net.
Your shot at $1,000 now. Text the word WIN
to 200-200. You'll receive a confirmation text. Standard message and data rates apply. That's WIN to 200-200.
Can you tell that I just love my sponsors? That's when I told you this show is unlike any other one. You can you can mention a sponsor, and I know them personally, and I use them, and I stand behind them. Ingrid has a water heater that busted. I think I know why insurance didn't cover it. And Deputy Dan kind of reminded me it busted. So I thought, well, that's an event, isn't it? But it may not be an event like a freeze or a storm or a robbery or vandalism or, you know, it may not be. I'm trying to get Compass on because she uses Compass. And Ingrid, I appreciate you. You know, you called somebody from our referral list as a plumber. You called Compass for your insurance. Let's find out first why it's not covered, and I suspect it's probably because they consider it normal wear and tear. And remember, insurance is not a warranty. But then let's talk about the $7,000 bill. Mark, how many times do we see this with disaster restoration, no matter who does it? I mean, people on our referral list aren't cheap. Why is this industry so damn expensive?
Because they're generally billing insurance companies, and it's all wrapped up into that. It sucks, man. The one that happened at my house, the insurance covered it because it was hail damage turned into water inside. But the bill that went to, I think it was Service Master, this is years ago, you ready for this, was like $14,000 for fans, basically, for, 5 days.
See, they charge for those fans by the hour.
Oh, and per fan.
Yeah, per fan, per hour. Can you imagine
We
that?
should buy some fans.
And but listen, I'm not going to start a disaster restoration company. I'm not.
Come on, we've already started too.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. I mean, I know 7,000 sounds like a lot. I don't even know who these guys are. But I don't think anyone would have charged less at all. I don't know of any. if you go in with disaster restoration, I don't mean the company, just anybody. If you have a flood or a fire or something, I don't think you're ever going to get out of it ever less than $5,000. I don't think so. And Ingrid, did they give you any kind of an estimate at all up front?
No, absolutely not.
Did you ask?
I was too shocked.
Now, you're saying they were only there 2 hours, really?
Yes. They came at 8 and finished at 10. And they left the fence behind, and they came once a day to check the walls, which they were kind of dry anyway.
So,
and you know what? Just for mopping the floor, they wanted $540. That's ridiculous. And the reason the insurance doesn't want to pay for it all, because my adjuster said they're charging for a lot of items that are usually not required.
No, that's not why they're not paying. It goes to the event, whether they're paying or not.
Oh.
It's not what they're using, it's the event. Like, was it a casualty loss? I don't know. Where's Compass, Suzanne?
Tom, they're looking into it right now. They have extensive notes on this file, so they've got to get everything sorted.
Could I ask them in general about water heaters if they break? Is that considered a casualty loss or normal wear and tear?
It's not.
Water heaters are normal wear and tear, is my understanding.
Did he say that?
That's what this gal told me, Jen.
Oh, Jen, okay. So
I know that I'm not asking about the water heater. I'm asking about the flood removal.
No, I know.
Okay,
I know,
thank you.
I know.
Oh gosh,
what about the water damage? She has a point. It goes to causation probably, but I would like to ask them about the water heater and appliances in the house in general, if you could. Okay, if you could just interrupt your conversation there for 1 second. I would like to ask some general questions that have nothing to do with this. It's important. I'd like to distinguish between a casualty loss and a warranty item, or of normal wear and tear. Philip is back, and I'm so sorry, Philip, that you were dropped before. I'm sorry. What's going on? Philip? Philip?
Hello. Hey, Tone. Hi, Tommy.
Hey, sorry for dropping you before. What's going on?
Hey, listen, bud. Here's the deal, man.
Okay.
I'm still stuck on homeless, man.
You're homeless. How did you get homeless, Phil?
Well, as we talked before, I was the one that called about the one who was taken out of his house under renovation and repair and wasn't allowed to come back.
Why were you not allowed to come back?
Well, apparently...
I mean, did you have a lease?
Yeah. Really, I don't have no clue, except they're using... they wanted to raise the rent, I suppose.
But, Philip, did you have a lease?
It was on a month-to-month.
Oh, okay. Okay. So where are you living right now?
I happen to be living with my ex, who we're just getting ready to move out of state because, you know, her life is moving on. I got to move on, and I can't be stuck like this. And they just put me out. You know, I was a secure tenant, man. I mean, I don't know how the law allows.
So you can afford rent?
Oh, I can afford rent. That's not the issue.
And you're working?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So you simply need a place to live.
Right.
And how much rent can you afford? Why don't you just go out and rent?
Well, I've been trying to look for places, and I'm telling you, man, there's really nothing out here. I mean, I've been out here searching, and I've watched as I lived here all my life in this state, and especially in this city, how
I know it's difficult. I hear it. It's difficult to rent. I hear it all the time. Guys, do you know about this? Like, are people, Frank, having a tough time finding rentals? Stephanie?
Rental market's pretty brutal. Yeah.
Are people buying in order to rent? Are they buying stuff to rent out? Have you been selling some rentals?
We've had some investors do that, absolutely.
Because it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
Now, they're building new apartment houses all the time, but it's definitely a landlord market, that's for sure, Philip. So what are you doing as far as looking? Where do you look?
Well, I have an app. It's called Roomster. I have been, you know, using this app for the better part of, you know, the 25 days.
Is it helping?
You know, if I must ever state the obvious, it's been a real crunch. And, you know, as far as, you know, a lot of people are, you know, I don't know. I've had some misconnections, and I'm not really getting through to the people, or I'm not really being successful at it, which has been becoming a really frustrating deal. And it's like on day 25, and I'm like, I should already have some kind of connection or establish some kind of a rapport with anybody at this point.
Man, I don't know what were you hoping we could do for you? I mean, I'd love to help you, but you know, I mean, finding people places to live is not one of our fortes, you know? I mean, I could put the word out, but we can't, I don't know how to help you, you know? I mean, other than just putting the word out, and if someone wants to rent to you, maybe that's the way to do it. I don't know what else to do, Philip. You know, you're in a bad way, but so many people are. You're all alone. It's just you.
Okay, it's just me, but see, here's the thing. See, that's just like scraping the iceberg, man. I haven't even gone into the details of, you know, how I've been gunned down by, say, for example, employers, one of which being Quality First Painting. I worked for these guys, and this guy bailed on me, man. He didn't want to pay me, so he bailed out. And since there's no written contract and it was only a verbal arrangement, the guy gets bail.
He's called Quality First Painting?
Affirmative.
Okay, and he just, but you say you're working now, right?
Yes, I'm working now. But see, this happened like, 5 years ago, maybe less.
Well, I'm not talking about that. Well, I mean, recently. Right. I can't help you with something that happened way back then. Right.
I'm just saying that, this is just a repetition of leading up to this day to where
I understand. What you're saying, Philip, is you've had a run of bad luck. I understand that, man. But that's not going to help going back. I mean, what now is happening? Right now, you're working, and you just need a place to live, right?
Right, man.
Okay.
It's just been a complicated deal, I mean, it shouldn't be that hard. Is my point. I mean,
I know, but it is, Philip. Hey, man, I understand what you're saying, and there are 1,000 people right now saying, yeah, it shouldn't be this hard. Everybody agrees. A lot of people. Here's what's happening. 80,000 people a year are moving in, but there are a lot of people moving out now. They're because they can't afford it. So we're like getting to a point. I don't know what's going to happen because a lot of working class people are moving because they can't live here. But what are we going to do for workers and employers? I mean employees. So all I can say is this, Philip. If you want to leave information, we will get in touch with you. Philip is a single man. He's had some challenges in the past. He's been paying his rent faithfully. He simply needs a place to rent. So if you have a place for Philip, live at troubleshooter.com. Okay? And Philip, leave your number with Suzanne. Suzanne, if you could get his number, that would be great. 303-713-TALK is our number. Philip, live at troubleshooter.com. I'm going to come back and talk to Compass Insurance to find out what the heck is going on when you have something happen in your home. How do you distinguish a casualty loss from any other kind of loss, like a warranty or a repair or a sudden need? Trenner Law. Just remember that. If you ever invent anything or you want a copyright or trademark or service mark, he is a patent attorney, and he is a single patent attorney in a small office and gets you bargain rates. I say that because a lot of these guys are in big, giant offices downtown, and you don't have to pay for all of that. He is a very good attorney and can do it all for you. If you need a patent search or a patent or a trademark, 720-221-3708. 720-221-3708. All right, I just got an email today from Pro Auto Care, and it says, Dear Tom, you're due for your 54,000-mile check, according to the manufacturer. Now, I didn't know that was coming up. I didn't even know how they knew my mileage. But what they did is they kept track of it at Pro Auto Care in between my services, and they estimate how many miles I have. Then they email me when they think it's coming due. They email me for oil changes. They email me for services. It's wonderful. And they email me with specials. If you want them to be your car nanny, or you just need a repair or something really quickly, you won't find people better than Pro Auto Care. In business, 25 years, same owner, all ASC certified techs, and they do foreign and domestic. They also do tires at a screaming deal. Give them a chance. You will love them. 303proauto.com is the website, or give them a call at 303-PRO-AUTO.
This report is brought to you by LifeLaw.
There's a few slow spots to watch
What's
out for
going
on
on?
Highway Drive in the metro area. I-70, both
Am I,
approaching
what?
Vasquez, a bit stop and go along that stretch.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
I-25, still
What do you
covered
think
slowing
about
down south
that,
of the I-70 interchange,
that guy,
traveling
homeless
down
guy? What do you
south
think when
Colfax.
people call like that?
He never did say how much he could
It's wide open south of 6th Avenue.
I'm always, you know.
I don't know what to do about people's health. I don't know what to do.
I-25.
And then he blames his employer right off the bat.
No, but 5 years ago. But listen,
What? I didn't hear that part.
people have it.
How do I make it every time?
Oh, you don't make it every time, you liar. You don't make it every time. Come on.
Do you do rentals?
Okay, I'm
Do you
feeling
do
it
rentals
now.
at all?
No.
I don't, but my company has a rental department.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Cherry Creek has a rental department.
Should have mentioned that.
Well, I was kind of pointing at you. I just didn't want to interrupt.
You can interrupt.
Okay. Okay.
You can just talk. Just say, hey, by the way, Tom.
And also, just helping people personally. I don't do them professionally, but Realtor.com, they're the best place to find rentals, truly.
What's the hardest thing of a renter, though? It's the history, right? If they got...
They need a lot of money to get in.
I don't do them.
Down payment, income three times.
Gosh.
And I'll bet you he does a lot of cash.
If it's
$3,000
$1,000 a
and
month,
you've
you better
got
be able
so
to show
much up
$3,000 income.
Well, not only that, but they want your first month.
That's the
your
hardest
last
part
month,
about
Who do I have coming up?
same.
Their name says it all.
Let's do Paradigm here in about a little less than a minute.
Credit, though,
Experts
is so
think you
such a
the
big
absolute
deal.
best possible
Credit history.
resolution.
Yeah, I think so. But like I said, I don't.
Hey, you're getting that, flooring today, right?
You know,
Get your life
I
back.
found
And those
on
worries gone.
Realtor.com is where we'll actually find listings. Yeah.
or 844 tax.
I wonder where you see that we had to play about that. And while it's free, but they go do an application. Boom, they-
I just get it. Well, then I got to put Bobby
I
off.
think
He's
that
going to start
depends
tomorrow.
on,
So you'll call.
if you contact
What are you doing, Mark?
Realtor.com, they can make direct contact with either their landlord or their management company.
Flooring?
And
She's
then
still
at
got to
that
pick it
point,
out. I don't know what we're
there may
getting.
be apps, there
I
may
have
be
no
things
idea
like
what
that.
we're going to go over.
But that should be disclosed to
I don't know.
Yeah,
Let's do Paradigm in 15.
is that they might...
Once she knows what she wants, I'll call her. Where are they?
That's one of the
Evans,
complaints.
just
On Realtor.com.
Just
No,
wait.
no, no,
Or
not
on the
Realtor.com.
company. Yeah, I don't
Just
know.
in general. That's what the...
Hi. Paradigm Floors, Paradigm Interiors.
Just remember Paradigm. If you're doing flooring, shop around. I know you see all the commercials with the big warehouses, but give Paradigm a chance. I'll tell you why. They have the same pricing, same selection, okay? Where they differ is with the individualized attention, and that is important. I don't like just going in without some kind of design consultant. I'm not talking about a salesperson. I'm talking about someone who knows about the floors, the tile, the hardwood, the laminates, the vinyl, the luxury vinyl tile, the carpeting, the new waterproof carpeting, whatever there is, they have it. All first quality merchandise. These guys have been in business 14 years. So they do the consulting, the purchasing, and the installation along with a project manager. You will be coddled through the entire transaction. They're just good people. Don't you want good people when you're dealing with your home? And they have a wonderful way of doing business. The only way you're going to know is when you're shopping, you stop in on Evans, just west of Santa Fe, or give them a call. You will know immediately what I mean when I say it's the atmosphere you want and the service, quality, and pricing that you want. 303-630-9204. You know, when I do commercials, I don't do them just for my health. These people have to measure up. I have to know them, like them, and use them. 303-630-9204.
This is your real-life comment section. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
That's right. It is the comment section. Real life.
Hey, does Paradigm have like a designer down there too? Do you know?
Didn't you just hear what I said?
No. Did you say they had a designer?
That's one of their main deals.
I totally missed it.
No. If you walk in and you want to, like, combine stuff.
Like, we already know what cabinets and slate we're getting from Mitch.
They have design consultants.
That can look at the slate we're getting, look at everything.
And they'll say, okay, we've seen a lot of this with this kind of material. This doesn't really go with this, or this will look awkward.
Got it.
Or this is good.
Why don't you mention that in the ad?
He's joking me, right? He's just trying to piss me off. Suzanne, did you hear me say they have a design consultant?
Of course I did, Tom.
All right, thank you. Dude, how do you live with him? This is what I want to know. How How do you live with him?
It's a day-to-day process.
I bring many benefits.
Jeremy is with Compass Insurance Group, and he just happens to be, or they just happen to be the broker for Ingrid. And I love Compass, but she said her water heater wasn't covered, or the damage. Jeremy, what is covered and what is not covered in general in a home? I'm going to give you a scenario. If my pipes freeze and burst, covered or not?
Yeah, that's typically the damage that the water causes is covered. The actual repair of the pipe would not be.
Okay, let's say it's hailing outside and my windows break. Covered or not?
Yeah, hail's a covered peril. So
if the hail breaks my window and rain gets in and ruins part of my wall and carpeting, covered or not?
As long as the rain doesn't hit the ground first and then come in.
But if the rain hits my deck outside and rolls in, covered or not?
That's a contentious one because it's kind of a gray area.
Is it a flood or not? Right, I understand, because flood is not covered unless you have flood insurance.
Exactly.
Okay,
and
now
I think that's under litigation.
Now
right
let's say my chimney. Let's say we have a bad rain, and my chimney's flashing was not that great, and I got a big giant spot in my ceiling. Covered or not?
That should be covered.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
because the rain. Because of the rain.
You got it. It's all predicated off the peril.
Okay, now let's say just one day my ceiling caved in, and I find out I had a slow leak around the flashing on the chimney. There wasn't any one storm, but it obviously happened from rain.
Right, that would not be. So the key there is sudden and accidental. And in that scenario,
That's a
it would not
casualty
be
loss. Sudden and accidental.
That's the key right there.
Okay,
So-
good, good. I like to know this. What about her water heater bursting?
See, and that's the first I've heard of this, and I was actually, as our claims guy here, following that a bit, and this was the first I heard that wouldn't be covered. So I'm hoping there's just some confusion, something lost in translation.
But I could make the argument it's not covered because even though it was sudden, it's not accidental. Let's say it was old and wore out.
Right, and there are scenarios like that where if you knew it's more of a maintenance issue at that point.
Right. So Ingrid, was this an old water heater or not?
It was 14 years old, but I'm not arguing about the water heater.
Ingrid, I know you're not arguing about the water heater, but the water heater caused damage.
Yes.
So the damage, if the water heater is covered, not the water heater itself, but the water heater peril is covered, it will then cover the damage. That's what I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to get you coverage if it is allowed under the policy. If it's not, it's not. So, Jeremy, the fact that the water heater burst is sudden, but could the insurance company say it is not accidental?
They would have to have some pretty strong ground to stand on or some sort of proof that it was neglect to get it fixed.
You're saying most likely it would be fixed. I mean not fixed, but it would be covered.
Yeah, my understanding on this one specifically, Tom, it wasn't necessarily a coverage issue. It was the insurance company saying the mitigation bill was extremely high compared to the damage.
It absolutely was, because...
Which is a completely different issue.
So are they saying they would cover some of it, possibly?
I don't know. I just found out.
No, I understand. You're still researching, all right? And I when I told you to come on, and you guys said you were still researching, I didn't expect you to know. I just mean that there's usually a reason they don't cover. But that would mean that Ingrid could use that argument with the mitigation company, too, because the insurance company is saying, wait a minute, for the amount of damages here, this is ridiculous.
Something covered or not, when we use that terminology, is more, do you have coverage for it? Completely separate from that is the insurance company going to pay the amount that the contractor, it could be mitigation or any contractor, has. And you know, there's obviously a balance between the two. I mean, you just don't want an insurance company to blindly pay bills. It's the number one way rates are going to keep increasing, but you also want your insurance company to take care of it. So there can be some back and forth on that.
So is it possible after research, so you guys are researching to see if she can be covered?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So
That's my primary job here is to make sure that when our insureds have an issue like this,
Ingrid, they don't have
advocating for them.
They do not have a determination yet. It could still be covered, but there was another issue, and that is you have a duplex, don't you, Ingrid?
Yes, I do. And the the boiler and water heater is on the rental side.
That's right.
This
And see,
house is one furnace.
I understand. You have two units, and the water heater is on their side, the other side?
Yeah.
See, that's a big problem because that's a rental unit. That's not your residence. I can see why this is not going to be covered. Mark, do you see it? It's like she has a rental
Well,
house.
after you threw that in, that creates a big problem.
A really big problem. We got to do this commercial right now. And I love doing this one because I like bragging a bit. You know, being 64 in September, I don't feel 64. I don't look 64. I'm absolutely, positively sure I'm not like most 64-year-olds. I'm not telling you I'm some male model or anything, but I'm telling you I'm not all hunched over, exhausted, irritable, moody, lack of drive, no libido. Why? Because I just do normal maintenance. And that means replenishing my hormones. It's normal. It's natural. Well, it's not natural, actually. What natural is to deplete those hormones, curl up and die. I choose not to go that route. I choose to fight nature and to do it the natural way. BioT, okay, that's one of the main hormones for both men and women, testosterone. Because testosterone helps us maintain our youth. And it also helps with estrogen. We need estrogen as men, and women need estrogen, of course. And that testosterone turns into estrogen, and you have to have the right levels for both men or women, and that's why BioT comes into the picture. They know the word balance. You don't just go and get a shot or creams. First of all, that's not a natural delivery system, and you're all over the charts. It goes up and down and up and down. But with the pellet therapy from BioT, it's the most natural delivery system for both men and women. It's just a little pellet under the skin in fatty tissue that dissolves anywhere from 4 to 6 months. You only need 2 to 3 treatments a year. And you find a BioT provider to do it, you will never look back. You will thank me every day. You'll get rid of belly fat. You'll have more energy. Your sex life will improve. Seriously, find out more at this place, biotmedical.com. Get a provider here in Colorado. biotmedical.com. BioT, that's B-I-O-T-E. biotmedical.com.
This report is brought to you by LifeLock. The drive on I-25 down.
So on the rental side, I'm sure I've never heard of a water heater just breaking all of a sudden.
Well, she better have a renter's policy in place over there.
Well, that's right. They do break all of a sudden because of that.
No, but I'm sure that they start leaking though.
Oh.
And then they rust on all over and stuff. And I'll bet you that's the renter probably just said.
But if they have a pan and a floor drain?
Everyone doesn't have a pan. That's a new policy.
New
regulation.
Warmer and a high near 70. Right now, rain, snow, mixing spots in Denver and 36. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Quack. 15. Hey, how? Do you use public Wi-Fi? That increases your chance of identity theft. One reason you guys have a lot of forceful monitoring, making sure changes to your traffic.
I mean, I've been talking to a guy here recently.
Really? Guys?
At lifelock.com.
What's that?
Let's talk about plumbing,
Heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Did you know that most drain companies do not own their own equipment or do their own drain work? If you call a plumber, they sub it out probably 98% of the time. Plumbline Services is one of the only companies with its own drain division. So they have the 93 or free drain deal. That means they can unclog anything for $93 or you don't pay for the call. But the good news is, for that $93, they will get it done. If not, then they will tell you what's wrong. And if you do need drain work, you'll never get better work than with Plumbline Services because they do the work directly and they guarantee it. I love that. 93 or free. The other one is $39 to check out your entire HVAC system for the season. The heat will be upon us. You don't want to do it at the height of the season because people are too busy. Right now, get someone in for $39 to identify any airflow problems you might have, do the blower assembly, the inspection of the ductwork, the thermostats, the wiring, the fuses, the motor connections, and the refrigerant, install filters, and do a complete fire and safety check. $39, that's it. PlumlineServices.com, 303-586-1086, 586-1086.
The Glenn Beck Program.
Convent of nuns in the Middle Ages.
Began to meow like cats, and the villagers called in the police and the army. The army came to the convent just because the nuns were meowing, apparently causing quite a disturbance. And they surrounded and said, "Stop meowing,
Or we're going to come in and kill all of you." And they stopped. The headline might be better than the story.
Glenn Beck. Weeknights at 7 on 630 KHOW.
Steve's got an opinion on insurance, and Catherine has an HOA complaint. And then we'll tell you about what we're doing tomorrow. But I got to tell you about Rockies, 63rd and Federal. I've been bragging about their new onslaught of cars. They go out and buy loads of cars at different auctions and sales and all kinds of places, okay? They also take a lot of trades. They have not just inventory, but a variety. That's what I really love. All different colors, makes, models, and years. They also have price ranges. The normal price ranges you'd pay for cars that you see at other dealers, you'll usually save 20 to 30% at Rockies if you compare apples with apples, because they own their cars and they absolutely, positively recondition them and have them ready for you at the best prices around. They also have 40 lenders you can choose from. What I really love about the way they do their sales is it's simple. Prices are clearly marked so you can compare. They take trades and tell you the value of that trade with no funny money. Then they simply finance the difference. It's that simple. And you get a Carfax with every car. By all means, shop around. But check them out Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, as part of your shopping. Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, 63rd and Federal. 303-426-4646.
This is your wallet. This is $1,000 to make your wallet great again.
Any questions? Of course you don't have questions. I was very clear, right?
Listen weekdays beginning at 6 a.m. to win $1,000 every hour on the hour and make your wallet great again.
My wallet is always great. It's a Trump wallet. How could it not be great?
Text the keyword to win $1,000.
For sale by owners of big thing down there?
Oh, I do have something on here. What I said.
I've just been talking to a gentleman who has some incredibly lengthy opinions on our business and things of that nature.
Of course, they all do.
I'm kind of, unfortunately for him, I think he's only going to be happy as a for sale by owner.
Right.
Truthfully.
You should find out if that's 30 days. It's not so hard. It's not so easy. It's harder than I thought.
Yeah.
I have it already.
Hi, Tom Martino, welcome. Steve, what's your opinion on insurance? Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, actually looking for your and Mark's opinion on this. I keep hearing insurance. I mean, the whole week has had, insurance threads running through it. Oh, and by the way, the BioT commercial, great. Wikipedia, though, has you at 69, not 64.
I know they do. I did that. I tried to correct that. I don't know why they do that. I'm
pulling your leg, but anyway.
No, they did have me. They had me at older. That's why I said that. Anyway, so what's happening with you in insurance?
Okay, explain to us. You and Mark, wealth of knowledge. I just got out of the hospital, emergency room visit, 4 hours. $13,000 and other bills are still pulling in. So the hospital asked us, do you have insurance or not? And we're self-pay. My wife and I are rolling the dice, the Russian roulette, because we're hoping Trump's going to do something. But anyway, they cut the bill in half. Thank God, the bill's cut in half.
Isn't that weird?
So let me ask you, because I keep hearing this all the time, why are bills, when you have insurance, higher? And in the case of this insurance issue at the hospital, I understand they're giving some sort of, gratuity or gift away, and that's fine. But still, they're not doing it. I mean, if they'll take half the bill,
I understand that. I don't know. It sucks. I agree. I don't know. Why? Why do they do it? Because they can get more from insurance. I don't know what else to say.
So insurance is a scam?
Oh, what, you think this is news? Yeah, it's the biggest legal scam in the world.
Generally, if you're paying cash, they will knock off at least 50% at most hospitals. And I learned that not long ago.
Actually, if you pay cash up front to a doctor,
oh yeah,
he'll knock off 75%.
Okay, so both of you, let's drill down if you can. Why does anybody have insurance then? I mean, maybe half is too much for some people.
Because most people aren't going to cough up, in your case, $6,500. They don't have it. The average, they don't have it.
The bottom line, though, now with deductibles, everybody basically being on medical anyway, it's the same amount. So
I don't, it's a mystery, Steve, and I agree with you. I totally agree with you. By the way, let's get Catherine on the air tomorrow with our attorney, John Fuller. Okay, let's get her on tomorrow. I want to thank Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Thank you, Frank, 303-920-1622. And Stephanie in Colorado Springs. You can find Stephanie Thomas on the referral at 719-687-2052.
Rates are still low. Save thousands and have lower payments. Take AIM, Affordable Interest Mortgage.
Whether you're refinancing or purchasing your new home, we have new loan programs that allow you to borrow up to 97